Did you want to just hop right on into the topics and start rolling then?
How you tell me however you want to do it. I'm
Okay.
down to roll with the punches.
All right. Well, guys, if you don't know, this is one half of the Moco Made crew, founders of the Moco Made stream team. Is it Moco Locos? Not Moco Made. Wonderful guy named Derek. He goes by Dare. Sometimes he goes by pretty much anything you'll call him. Honestly, he just reads chat and he yells a lot. So I apologize if the audio goes weird. That. He does charity. He's a leather worker. He does all sorts of crafts. Let's be honest. He's the best gamer on the Moco team. Plays Tarkov. He's a great dude. I'm super excited to have him here on the show today. Is there anything I missed about that intro? Is it good enough?
Yeah, just that I'm half of Moco Made, and Devin, my sister, makes up the other half. And as much as I give her shit, she's kind of important too.
Yeah, you're just the technical and / entertainer, but she keeps it all together. Her and Ray. Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
I mean, yeah, I'm her tech guy. I just exist to press buttons for her. That's really what it is.
You're not wrong. So I guess for my chat and the viewers on YouTube and everything, how did you guys get into Twitch? Because you've been around for a while. You've been in the makers and crafting section since before it was even a section.
No, makers and crafting was around when we started, but it was pretty new. We got involved in streaming on Twitch. It had to be right after Creative was broken up. I don't know exactly when that was, but we got started in October of 2020. And Makers and Crafted definitely existed then.
You guys started a year or two after me?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I've been around Twitch for a long time, never as a streamer. Hold on, I was just checking to make sure I posted in our Discord that we were live.
It's all good.
Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. I actually the first streamer I ever watched was Day9, who you know because I know you were involved in the StarCraft community, and I got super into StarCraft, and basically I came to Twitch anytime I got super interested in the game and wanted to learn more. So I'd be on for that game, and then when I got off that game, I was off of Twitch, and it was StarCraft was the first one. I spent many years then, so it's been over 10 years I've been on Twitch, and then Destiny was another one I got super into. And then most recently, which is when I got involved in, now streaming now, was Tarkov. So those were the three main games that brought me to Twitch. Obviously, I never streamed Tarkov, but I'd been a content creator for some time in Facebook groups revolving around hookah, because that was our first business. We were making leather hookah hoses. That was just a random thing that was a hobby that Devin and I enjoyed that just started making something, and all of a sudden people wanted to buy it. And then I did some like live streams in those groups. We ran some like events in New York City and Las Vegas. And so I learned a lot about running events. I learned a lot about managing people. There were 5,000 or so people in that group. I would do live streams in that group. I did some podcasts like this. I didn't run the podcast. I was guests on the podcast. And then we got our website banned on Facebook. Still don't know why. I never found out why.
Did you not appeal it?
I did, and it sat in appeals. In fact, it's unbanned now and still in appeals. I still have a thing on the back end of my Facebook that says that this is under review, it is unbanned now. It was banned across the whole Meta platform. That means in any DM, anything on Facebook and Instagram. And it was after we posted, it was the first time we made merch for Moses Hoses, the hookah company. Yeah. And I posted a picture of Bentley, Devin's dog, wearing one of our hats because it was silly. And that's when it got banned. No idea. It was
I had an Instagram of just birds, and I had made a comment 15 minutes before I was banned, which I'm pretty sure it was because I talked to a person and I got past the robot. That took more than 30 days for the robot to verify me. But the person said it was either intimidating someone, fraud, or sexual harassment. And my comment was, to a girl cosplayer, you're precious when you smile. And her mod had told her that he mass reported me. So I think it was for the sexual harassment of telling a girl to smile. and I got banned off all Meta. And I bet you had to go through the same appeal where you have to show your driver's license and have a similar picture to one that's in the account. Oh, it's terrible to get unbanned from Meta.
It was just the website that got banned, and it sat banned for 3 years. And then one day I just like accidentally sent the website to Devin. We were just chatting about something, and like it auto-filled the website rather than just the company. And I was like, wait a second, that didn't get blocked. Like, Devin, did you receive that? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, that's our website, dude. Like, that's blocked. She's like, no, I see it. And it was just unbanned.
So
and that was that.
I could possibly be unbanned, is what you're telling me? I should try and access Facebook?
Check. Yeah, you should check. Like, it just was random. I never got a message. Like I said, the actual appeal is still sitting there. Still sitting there, like, pending. But that happened, and I was having some... I wasn't having some... I guess I was... There was a lot of drama in the hookah groups, as you know, there can be online. Oh, yeah. And I was just caught up in some of it that wasn't my fault. I just happened to be, you know, an admin of the group that it was happening in. And, like, I needed to distance myself from all of that anyway. And my friend, Shweevy, who you might see in our chat, he's a mod, a good friend of mine from college, was like, hey, like, I know you're watching Twitch for Tarkov. Do you know there's a maker section? I was like, no. And so I started on my own streaming some just, you know, I was just sewing and just chatting with people. But at the time, that was right when the pandemic started, and Devin and I were sitting on like video calls like a lot. She was just messing with resin.
Was the reason you started streaming.
No. In fact, I can't believe Devin's a streamer. She was the one, like, I was the face of the business, and she was the artist. Like, and that was always how it was going to be. I never would have imagined anything but that, because that's what she wanted. That's what she was comfortable with, and I was comfortable doing this stuff. I liked this stuff. And so I was streaming, but there was a lot of days we would spend on video call all day long. I'd be practicing some leather work. She'd be getting into anything paint, or she was getting into resin at the time. And then I would be like, all right, I'm going to go stream for a little bit. So bye. And then like one day she's like, well, why don't I stream with you? I was like, what? You hate this. The first time we did a podcast like this for hookah, and I'm not kidding you, Devin was going to be ill. Like, physically ill from how nervous she was to be on that podcast. We got off that podcast. She did fine on camera, but we got off that podcast. She went and laid down. Like, that's how nervous and uneasy it made her. And so she asked me, I was like, really? Like, this is not you? She's like, yeah, but I'm bored and you're doing it. And if you're doing it, I want to do it with you. So I was like, okay. And so we did. And I carried my computer to her house at the time every day to stream.
Every day?
Brought it back every day. I strap it into yes, I had to, because this was at the beginning of the pandemic. There was nothing to do. And my only entertainment was that computer. I just built that computer to play Tarkov. I just built it, my first PC. All my consoles were outdated. It was the only thing I had to entertain myself. And so we were like, all right. So I carried it to her house, set it up in the basement, and then after stream, I'd break it all down and take it all home. And that's what we did. That's how we started.
How? I'm sorry, I would have gone crazy. I would have done that maybe 3 times. I'd been like, no shot.
I was talking about Shweevy, who told me about this, and he's like, dude, you're going to do like 3 days of the stream, and you're not going to be playing Tarkov anymore. And I was like, all right, bet. And I brought it home every day. There was not a single day I didn't bring it home. And there was not a single day I didn't bring it back and stream. We didn't miss a single stream. I didn't miss a single night of gaming. And,
so when did you get a second computer?
Basically, however long it took to save up the Twitch money. We didn't take I didn't even put our payout information in with Twitch until we had enough money to pull it for a PC. And that's when we did.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly how long. It was between 3 and 6 months. Because we had a bit of an advantage starting the way we did, because I had some following online, and it wasn't a lot of people, but it was just enough that it wasn't just us to start.
How did you get that following?
Well, because people knew who I was as
a chatter
maker. Yeah.
Okay.
No, not as a chatter, just from the hookah groups.
Right.
I was well known in there for years. I mean, I spent probably 7 years building that business and running events and running live streams. So when people heard I was on Twitch, enough of them, not a lot. I'm not saying it was like dozens. It was probably like 5. but it was just enough that it wasn't like it was just Devin and I starting with no viewers. That plus a couple of, IRL friends meant we were, off to a much better start and a much easier start than most people. And from there, we were able to build.
And that means you were affiliate within your first 3 streams, and everything was fantastic from there, eh?
Yeah. We didn't have any problems getting affiliate. Actually, the hardest part was the follows. We had the viewership for affiliate. We had to do follow for follow to get affiliated, though. Oof. We didn't have the 50 followers. Not that I'd ever recommend anyone do that, but we had the viewership for it, no problem. Yep. We didn't have follows. We didn't have anybody outside of those 5 to 10 people that were, checking in on a regular basis. So we did do follow to follow.
You had it on easy mode. You did the follow for follow. You got affiliate right quick. What was like the first thing that really set you guys off? And like, do you have an explosion moment, a growth moment?
No. And I think most people don't have an explosion moment. Our growth, even to this day, has been slow and steady. It's been about consistency. And we've never really had an explosion moment. There were months where we would jump 5, 10 average viewers, but then there were like 6 months we would stay at, a number. And there would be days that were better, obviously, but at the end of the day, at the end of the month, it was that. And like the longest one was probably like in the 30s. Breaking out of the 30s into the 40s and 50s towards partner was the hardest. And the longest kind of plateau, but it's kind of been like one of these where it goes like a plateau and then it kind of jumps and then it kind of plateaus and then jumps. That's kind of been our growth.
Right. I've seen that on several channels. Even mine, I went from the 30 to the 50, 70, and then it jumped to 120, 130, and then that plateaus around there as well, which is really weird to me. Like there's nobody that goes from like the 200s to like you go from 100 to 1,000, I find.
Yeah. I know a couple of people when we were starting that kind of exploded in a way that they were blowing up. I mean, like they were the topic of discussion in our creative spaces. And I don't want to name drop anyone, but they did explode like that. And in time, we've surpassed them as far as like growth over time. So that explosion, anytime you do explode like that, is really difficult to maintain. Most don't.
Yes.
It's like everyone thinks there's a lot of people who stream on Twitch just because they think they're going to get that big raid one day and that'll change their life. But like, it doesn't. I don't know of a single raid that ever changes anyone's life, genuinely.
I would agree.
It comes
feel
from
like
long term.
I feel like raids are one of those things nowadays that I'm like, I don't know if raids are good because I find when you get raided, people get quiet because the raiders are the center of attention. I do it myself. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be the center of attention. These guys just came in, gave them attention. I'll come back after the raid's been assorted. But it's like I've noticed people go quiet and then chat almost dies and then has to recover. But I'm not necessarily at your guys' level. I did backslide quite significantly. How do you guys see raids? Are they still good?
I think raids are always good, always. Well, let me put it this way: not every raid is a good raid. We've had literally like 500 people raids that were not as good as a 1-person raid. Like we've had 500 people raid in and not a single person talk. That's a bad raid. That's where it gets real awkward because your community is like hype as hell that you just had this big raid. You had a lot of people come in. They're excited because they're there to support you. And when new people come in, that's how you grow, right? And then everybody's like, let's talk to these guys. Let's see what they're all about. They brought in all these people, and then no one says anything. It's just like, okay, we'll just gonna go back to what we were doing, Chad, I guess. It's really awkward. But like we've also had one person raid in and that one person became a long-term community member, and that's why we treat all raids the same, because you never really know what's on the other side. And I do think every single raid is good, and that every single time you end stream you should raid out, and that doesn't mean they're all going to go well, because they won't, but the next one might, and you never know when you're going to find that next community that's just going to mesh really well with you, and a lot of your members are going to become members of that community, and a lot of their members are going to become members of your community. And I always think raids are good. Always. I will never think a raid is not good.
That's fair. I don't think raids are terrible. I just think that they are a momentary killer of hype if you can't get over it and like bring the hype back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
there's a balance to that. Like, how do you balance addressing the raiders but maintaining the conversation and discussion or gameplay or whatever you were doing before, for sure.
I did want to talk about raid responses. I actually really like how you and Dev deal with raids where you both chant raid. It's fucking adorable. By the way, feel free to swear, even though this is on YouTube.
I got you.
That said,
why told me otherwise? Because I got a filthy mouth.
Why don't you guys have a raid response video or anything else?
I hate videos.
Oh my God! Thank you. You're like the only other person who agrees with me. Oh my God!
I don't hate all videos. Some of them are good, but they got to be short.
Yep.
We've raided into a place one time that had over 5-minute raid intro video. We sent like 150 people to this person who had about the same number of viewers, and they literally said, "Hi, here's a video," and subjected all of us to 5 minutes of a video. I couldn't believe it was happening. I could not believe it. I don't hate the raid videos, especially for people that struggle on the spot to give a spiel about who they are. Devin would struggle more with that than me. And that's why you'll notice I take over that part. I think Devin would struggle with that part than me. But I like raid videos. I don't dislike all raid videos, but they got to be tasteful. They got to be short and sweet and to the point. And you should be addressing the raiders first. Mm-hmm. Make your first impression live with those people, because that's what they're there to see. They're there to see live content. And if you don't give them that and you just hit them with a video, they're probably going to leave. So I think if you're going to do a raid video, you should introduce yourself, talk to the raiders first, and then hit them with a short raid video. Like Nine has one that I think is really good, especially because she gets interrupted by her kids sometimes and she needs to go be a mom. And that gives her a perfect opportunity to be like, "Hey guys, we're going to watch the raid video real quick. Like, here's who I am, here's what I'm about, but I'm going to show you this video. I'm going to go take care of my kids real quick and I'll be right back." Devin can do that too as a mom, but she's got me. Yes. Where I can be there and do it, and Nine doesn't. And so I think that's a really good implementation of someone who does have one that I think uses it at the right times.
What about the shout out clip bots?
They're fine.
What do you mean? No, they're not. Do you actually go through every week and edit your clips so that you get the best clips?
No, that's the problem. Like, they're fine, but the biggest problem I have with them is actually that people will use them on channels that are not okay with our content.
Yes, I get that all the time.
It's just language. Like, I mean, there's titty tassel swirling sometimes. There's language that's definitely inappropriate. Mm-hmm. There's sexual innuendos. There's just stuff that's not appropriate for every channel. And like, I think if you're going to do that, it should have volume, because volume, I mean, at least when I was taught to stream, I was taught that hearing you is more important than seeing you.
Yes.
And like, hearing what the content is more important. But most people have to mute that because they don't know what's on the other side. And so I feel like you're missing a major context if it's not muted, but that it should be muted for a lot of the channels we might raid into. So it's not bad, but it can be really hit or miss.
I find they're incredibly missing because from my perspective, I put mine into you're the content creator that wants to put this on your platform. You've lost all control of that content. It could be anything. It could be off in left field. Yep. It could be something that's incredibly specific of nothing, even. Like, some people just clip nothing, dead air. Yeah. And it's like nobody goes through and cultivates a clip farm.
Yeah.
Like, if you could choose, that'd be great.
I do go through all of our clips, but it's not to call them on Twitch. It's to download them and organize them in my personal files, which doesn't fix that problem. I agree, and therefore I feel like you wind up only using it when it's people you trust.
Yeah.
But then you're not seeing content from someone that's new. It's really difficult, and I really think it only works if you're unhinged enough to handle any of the content that could be on the other side. But even then, it could be something political. It could be something racist. Yep. You don't know. When it's new people, you just don't know. And that's a dangerous game to play. And then in that case, you're muting it and then you're missing half the content. So I don't have a problem with them. I get why people do it, but it's tough to figure out what's the right way to go about that.
What's the
in my
balance?
opinion. Yeah, the balance is really tough on that.
So going back to obviously your growth, you mentioned it was based off of consistency, showing up, always putting in the best show. I'd argue you guys are amazing. But what would you say for somebody starting out on stream? What should they be doing?
If they're starting streaming, and the thing we always tell people is like consistency is the first thing.
Is that like having a schedule? What is consistency to you?
Consistency to me is having a schedule and sticking to it. It doesn't mean streaming full-time hours. It doesn't mean 30 hours, 40 hours. I don't care if it's 5 hours a week. It doesn't matter how many hours it is. If you're going to be live, let's just say it's 10 hours a week, maybe 2 streams. I'd rather see you hit those 2 streams and stream 10 hours a week after week. Now, obviously, life happens. You miss some here and there, but you hit, those streams, and then have 4 scheduled streams, but only stream 3. Like, you've streamed more hours, you've streamed 3 days a week, but you've missed a day, and the consistency really, really matters most. Like, I really believe that nothing good can happen of streaming until you're first consistent. Because that's when people start to know when to expect you. That's when you're subconsciously, because this doesn't really happen consciously, subconsciously you're penciled into people's schedules. If people can watch you, we're at live 10 to 4 Eastern time. That's when people have time to watch content. And for us, that's when we're live. And they know if it's a weekday afternoon, MoCo Made's going to be live. And subconsciously, I know I could go find MoCo. I don't even have to check for a go live. I don't have to check for this. I could type their name right in my browser, and I know they're going to be up.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I'd rather see people, rather than scheduling 20 hours and hitting 15, I'd rather them schedule 10 and hit 10.
Yes.
And then as you get more comfortable, you get into that schedule, you get more of an idea of what it's all about. You might be able to expand from there, but hitting the hours you say you're going to hit is super important. It's really, really important.
I want to build off of that and save you a bunch of time next time you answer this question, because it's very simple. You can make a very good analogy to like live cable TV back in the day. The Simpsons had a new episode every Sunday, I think Wednesday, whatever. You knew what day, what time The Simpsons came out with a new episode because they did it so long, so frequently. And you also know when your favorite shows were coming on TV because they were consistent. Right? Yeah. It's not a guess of, oh, what am I going to watch today? No, it's 7 o'clock. I know my favorite show. Blip, blip, I'm on that channel. Yep. It's basically like cable TV. It's a habit.
Yeah, it is the same. It's a habit. It's a schedule. People have, just like you have a streaming schedule, they have a schedule, and there's certain times a day that their schedule allows them to watch content. And that may align with your schedule or it may not. But when you're consistent and it aligns with their schedule, that's when they show up regularly because they know you're going to be there.
Yep. So you guys got Partner, I think a year before me, actually. How was getting Partner back then? What was your journey like?
Everyone told us it wasn't possible. As we were doing it, as we were actively making it happen and knocking down walls that everyone said it was not possible. They said that there's not enough viewers in our section of Twitch. There's not enough growth. You can't do it. Everyone gets denied their first time. We weren't. We were told everything in the book that we couldn't do it. And we're just, Devin and I, we're not toxically positive, but you're not going to kill our spirit.
Yeah.
And we're just like, but what if we do? And then what? Then what would you say? And even as we were actively doing it, there was a huge negative echo chamber in the maker and creative space that just said it wasn't possible. And what we told those people all the time, our response was to that kind of rhetoric, that kind of belief, was that you are all, whether you believe it or not, because some of you are telling us right now you don't believe it, you are all participating in the change you want to see on this platform. And I still say that today. We still are, because we're still small in the creative spaces, and there's still a lot of room for growth to being a bigger, more robust category on Twitch.
Yes.
I still say that today. And the difference today is I say that today and people believe it because they've seen it. Now they've seen that happen. When we were getting partnered, there were people before us that were getting partnered. Don't get me wrong. But there was a certain group of people that were before us, during when we did, and slightly after us, that really paved a way that did change that belief to the point where if anyone says they're going to try to get partner, that they don't have people telling them they can't do it. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Now, the parameters have changed. They've been way more transparent with what it takes. They've been way less willing to reject once you hit those parameters. It's still really hard to get partner, but it's a lot easier to figure out how to get accepted once you get to that level.
Right. They had so much back in the day behind mystery and superstition. You stole the script because I was literally going to ask you the next question. Oh, do you think it's easier to get partner now? Oh, wow. Why don't you just use? Well, what's the next question?
You didn't give me the script, dude. You didn't give me the script. Once in a while we agree with each other.
Wow, rude. I feel like we agree all the time, especially about how Tarkov sucks.
See, yeah. I mean, most people would say it sucks. It definitely kicks you in the balls, but it doesn't suck.
I don't know. I don't know. I've seen a lot of cheaters in that game.
It's actually not as bad as you think. No, it really isn't. Now, every competitive game is going to have cheaters, but it's not nearly as bad as it seems. Not now. It used to be. They've really got a handle on that. But that's a different conversation.
I'd love to have it, but I don't care enough about Tarkov to even have anything to contribute. It'd just be you talking about Tarkov.
That's not really the direction we want to go, because that could be a long conversation, but not one with that we need to have tonight on this podcast.
That's fair. So naturally, you could see my progression of these questions right now, where I'm leading down a story of yourself. You got the partner. It's easier nowadays, but not that easy. I'd actually argue it's kind of harder because viewership overall is down for the most part, especially the viewership per streamer. That is a significant factor where it's streamers watching streamers these days, and it's brutal. But once you got partner, what was it like? What did you do? What were you thinking?
Well, that was the other thing. Everyone, when we transitioned from it's not possible, you're not going to do it, and you're especially not going to do it on your first try. You should just get your application out of the way because you're going to be rejected. It transitioned from all of that negativity to, well, now you're just going to fall off of viewership. Like, congratulations, now you're just going to drop in viewers and this or that, and stuff like that. And it wasn't, because we didn't have a push. Now, there's always going to be a natural push when you get close. You can't get close to partner and say I'm not pushing. Now there's,
especially chat will force you.
Yeah, like there's right and wrong ways to go about it, in my opinion, and right and wrong times to go about it. But the excitement is going to take over, and you don't want to zap that out of your community either, because let's face it, they're there every day. They can see what you're doing, and they can see that you're getting close, and they want to be excited about it too. And you don't want to zap that enthusiasm out of them. But because we didn't push, and because we were slow and steady before, during, and after, we didn't experience that drop off that people kind of tend to expect from that. And we've continued to grow since then. And we go through our times where, it flatlines. Like I said, I would say outside of the event we're doing right now, we're in one of those phases where it's kind of flatlined a bit, but so is the whole platform. You mentioned that. Like, the platform is way down. And I know Twitch is scrambling a little bit because we're coming out of the pandemic. Now, we're still higher overall from where it was before the pandemic, but we've definitely fallen sharply. The platform as a whole has. And maintaining a level head through those ups and downs and staying consistent without letting it get to your head are really important to kind of weathering the storm, so to speak, of the platform and live content creation as a whole, and stuff like that,
Before I go further on that, first off, Anchored Albatross, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody. I'm talking to Derek, if you know. He's one of the guys one of the founders of the MoCo team. Wonderful guy again. Welcome in, everybody. You did hit on something I'm really interested in, and I feel like you have enough industry knowledge to be able to have a good opinion, which is with Twitch not growing, whatever the word of that is, shrinking, ungrowing, whatever it's doing. Obviously, we got to change the ship. We got to get a little bit better at this. What do you think that we can do, not only just us, but Twitch, to grow Twitch?
That's a tough question. I think Twitch is in a much better state from before the previous CEO. Like, since Dan has taken over, and I know Dan has taken a lot of heat for a lot of reasons, and there's some of that is warranted and some of it is not. He's done a really good job, and he's gotten this platform going in a much better direction overall, despite some of the other things that people will have to say. And like I said, some of it's warranted for sure, but I haven't looked at the stats. If you actually go on Twitch Tracker, they have an overall Twitch viewership thing. I haven't looked at it in probably like 6 to 8 months, but so I am curious where it's at now. But it is still way higher overall. The opportunities are way higher overall. And people will say, well, there's a lot more streamers. There isn't. There used to be, but there isn't now, in my opinion. There's from when we started, I can't name that many that I knew in the first year of streaming that are still streaming.
Right. I feel like it's a revolving door of streamers. Also, Moxie, thank you for the raid as well. Welcome in.
Hi, Mox. Hi, Anchored.
I find it interesting that you use Twitch Tracker instead of Sully Gnome.
Twitch Tracker is just easier to get a quick overview. Sully Gnome is way more complicated. I will say though, like Sully Gnome, though it gives you more detail, is not always as accurate in my opinion. Yes, because I know what our real numbers are, and so I can compare the numbers to what they say, what they see, and what I know our real numbers are. And I find Twitch Tracker to be more accurate if you need quick information. Sully Gnome will give you more detailed information, but it's not usually as accurate in my opinion.
To be fair, I don't trust either beyond like a 5% tolerance.
No. You don't use them you just use them to get an idea. Right. It gives you an idea, and it can quickly give you an idea, especially over the long term of what's going on. But like, I genuinely believe that despite the fact that the viewership overall is trending down, so are the streamers. I think the same amount of opportunity, or at least a similar amount of opportunity, if not maybe a little more, is still there. It's just the platform's changed a bit, and it's gone through its ebbs and flows. And I think once that part kind of levels out, we'll have a lot better understanding of where we're at. And I think really, I do believe that we're better off. There's a lot of sky is falling with this kind of stuff on Twitch. I don't really believe in that kind of mindset.
I don't think it's the sky's falling. I've seen commentary to that. I don't think the sky is falling. I think that, as you say, it'll steady out. The ship will be steady. But my point that I want to see more from Twitch specifically is like attracting the new blood, the next new big thing. Because right now they're going for celebrities, and I'm not sure if like Justin Bieber streaming on the platform or a new Minecraft update really picks the platform up. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious, how could they bring in the next generation of streamers?
Well, I think a lot of opportunities actually been presented because of people leaving Twitch for other platforms. That is like, that's not bringing in a new generation, but there was a lot of big streamers and a lot of just streamers in general who have maybe looked at Kick, or have gone to YouTube. And I think that has also created opportunity. But I, at least in our creative spaces, I think there's like unlimited opportunity. And I know this is kind of against the grain of the thought of the mindset. There's just only so many people here. But to me, especially for MoCo Made, we are full-time artists, right? But our content is variety. We really are a just chatting stream. where art is happening around us. Once in a while, it's on camera. Sometimes there's games. Sometimes we are really just a just chatting channel. And I feel like channels like ours can bridge the gap between the mainstream side of Twitch, like a just chatting category, and art, and make that connection with people who are not necessarily, who everybody on Twitch can appreciate art. There's not a single person on this platform that can't. Especially the gamers, every single part of the video game that they like is art. There's art behind that. There's coding. There's actual, rendering of all of everything that's in there. It's all art, and it can all be appreciated. And people especially like fan art of the things that they're really into. And I think bridging the gap is how we can make the art and creative category on Twitch as big as any category. I've always believed that we can do that, and I know that's definitely an optimistic mindset about it, but I've always believed that we've been building towards that, and that takes time because Twitch has been around. Twitch, when you think about business, Twitch is a little over 10 years old. That's not that long. Like, live streaming is still a new-ish concept overall, as far as when you consider content creation.
I feel like it's actually more like 16 years old. If you count Justin TV.
Yeah, if you count Justin TV, yes.
I totally
do. Closer to like 15 years old. You're right. But like they say, like you need 5 years in business to determine if you're going to become profitable and grow. And like the creative side of Twitch didn't come into that. It didn't come into play from the beginning, like the gaming side of Twitch did. And therefore it's lagging behind. And we need to be part of the movement that brings it to the current, like all the other sections of Twitch. And we need to show people and show the other parts of Twitch that an art stream isn't just about watching someone art something. It's about so much more than that. And I think that's where a lot of the opportunity is in our section of Twitch, that there are opportunities to bridge the gap is what the word I like to use.
I get that, and that's great for improving the category and everything, right? But I'm just looking at trying to grow Twitch as a whole, because you guys don't multi-stream or you're not on multiple platforms, right?
No, we're going to start multi-streaming to YouTube. I just been too busy with other things to set it up, but yeah, we're going to. We haven't yet.
Why YouTube? What's making this decision for you?
Literally, YouTube is where we're getting the best traction on the content we're posting. We are consistently getting a certain number of views on our content there. That's more consistent than on any of the others. TikTok is a shit show for us. Instagram does good or bad. No consistency on that. And YouTube has been steadily growing. So I see opportunity there. If we're getting consistent views on YouTube, then I see some reason that maybe that would help us grow our channel. But my goal isn't to grow our YouTube channel as much as it is to grow to bring people over to Twitch. I don't like the idea of trying to grow multiple channels at once. That thought process, I don't think that works most of the time. But I think if you can convert a few people here and there, well, now you've just brought them from a totally different platform entirely, which is the best way to grow your platform on Twitch, but the hardest. Converting people from any other place, especially from non-live content to watching live content, is a daunting task, and one we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah, naturally. I feel like every streamer is. There was a question that came up from chat. Well, it wasn't really a question. I'm turning it into a question. It was brought up by Metallicat Art. I pinned the message there. Basically, you did cover something that I find interesting. It hit me so hard when I was a wee little baby streamer, where I would see all these people that I grew up streaming with, the same people that we'd raid over and see those cool people. And then they stopped streaming. And this happens all the time. What is the driving motivation for you guys not to have stopped streaming? And why do you think that you are surpassing all these people that might have been doing just as good or better or been as dedicated?
The core of it is that it's really fucking hard. It is a grind. It takes a certain mental fortitude that is tough. It is really hard to maintain a level head and deal with those ups and downs, especially like for a year or two. It's no big deal, but you get into 3, 4, 5 years. We're coming up on 6. It's really really hard.
Yeah.
And it weighs on you, and it weighs on you more and more and more. And it's tough. That really is the end of it. It's not for most people. I really do say
so
that.
how
Like,
do you handle it? How does Dev handle it?
We just, we've been through some of the hardest parts of our streaming career recently, and it actually puts everything else into perspective. It's pretty easy now.
It's clearly not the St. Jude's thing that you were doing. So what is the most recent? Is it drama? Is it team drama? Did I miss something?
No, I mean, dealing with the drama, there's always been drama. There always will be drama.
I came onto the team with drama.
Life. Yeah, I know. It's our personal life. We lost our mom, and it was very quick and it was very sudden. Yeah. And we lost her right before we were raising money. We didn't lose her. She was diagnosed the week before we were about to fundraise for St. Jude. We had over 100 people ready to go crazy with us over 10 days to fundraise for St. Jude, and we had $100,000 goal. And now our mom was diagnosed with cancer and needed treatment, needed all these things, was having brain surgery. But we had all these people relying on us. We had everything set up. Everything was a go. And here we are. And we managed to manage that on our personal lives and rally the community to raise $100,000 at the same time. And quite frankly, I still don't know how we did that, but it puts everything else in perspective that, we can handle basically anything else that comes our way. We have each other. We have two of us, and in some ways that makes live streaming harder, but in some ways that does make it easier. And we're able to lean on each other in that sense. And we have our community, and they've showed up for us in those darkest of times when we're normally happy-go-lucky, like just crazy and optimistic people. And all of a sudden, we still were ourselves, but we were also dealing with this shitty part of life, and they still showed up day after day. And that's proven that they'll show up for us through anything. And if they're going to show up for us through anything, then we could show up through anything, And that's kind of been our thing. We just, pull up our boots and we show up. And Devin's gone through some other things that are more personal to her. And we literally missed one day of stream, and then we were there. And we weren't fully ourselves, but they kept showing up, and they keep showing up. And we do have that mental fortitude, and some people just have it, and some people don't, and some people had it, but it does weigh on you, and it's a really difficult thing to do. It's a really difficult thing to just do full time, especially over the amount of time that we've done it, and deal with the wildly different. In our case now, we have a stream team of over 250 people. We're managing a lot of people. We're managing our own chat, which is a lot of different people. And then the combined communities of all those 250 people, it's a lot, and it's hard. And that's why people just can't maintain it. Being full-time, and this isn't even as a streamer, just being full-time on your own business at all, it's really hard to do.
That's fair. So you rambled on for so long. I have to say, like 30 minutes of things. First off, I'm sorry to hear about your mother. I know I was in your stream and in your DMs while this was going on. It's always heartbreaking to go through that. Chat was showing you a ton of love during those comments as well. I would say if you're on YouTube, leave a heart in the chat below. And of course, with that, you did such a great thing with St. Jude's. You've done it year after year. I'm curious, why did you guys pick St. Jude's, and why did you go so hard into fundraising for them?
Well, we always wanted to fundraise, that is. St. Jude has been an organization I always knew about. Mom always donated to St. Jude. Like, she's donated to a lot of organizations, but she's always donated to St. Jude. And then when we were looking into it ourselves, or I should say, even before that, like streamers that I've looked up to that I've watched for years. Rare Drop is the main one. They were the Destiny streamers I used to watch back then. They started as just streamers that are our size, just a couple of friends streaming together, and now they've built an empire where they've raised over $10 million for St. Jude. And I've always followed their journey since I was in the Destiny. I've always followed them and always admired that. And it was, there's a lot of great charity organizations out there. There's a lot of not good ones as well. You really need to do your research and make sure that you're raising for a charity that's truly doing charity.
Yep.
And not profiting off of your hard work. And St. Jude is an easy one on that front. You can go anywhere in the world and people will know that St. Jude is an incredible organization. 82 cents of every dollar goes directly to exactly the cause. And the other 18% goes to things that help connect people so that they can raise more money. And then around the time that we started fundraising, Devin just had her baby, and luckily a healthy baby. But it does put things in perspective of what life could have been like if that weren't the case for us, and how tough that would be if it were. So, everybody, all those charities are warranted and they all deserve their due time, and they're all wonderful. But kids, above all else, don't deserve to suffer. They haven't had a chance to even live life to even know what something that isn't suffering is, and they don't deserve to go through that. And that's why it's the best, that the more we can do for the kids, and no one does more than St. Jude, the better. And that's why St. Jude.
So you have their hat on. Did you get that from the event, the convention they do, whatever they call it, the retreat?
No, I didn't get that. We were at the St. Jude Summit. What is it? I guess 2 weeks ago now. Did not get this hat from there. A lot of people did. I had bought this hat a few weeks before, but I did not buy this one there. But this hat is pretty dope. You should go buy it and donate to St. Jude.
I'm not a hat guy because I'm bald. As somebody who might be bald as well, you might realize that it leaves rings around your head, right? Oh, you probably don't go in the sun as much as I do. So I get
live in a basement.
I get tanned around like the eyebrow area, and I did that 1 year, and I got so sunburnt, and the top of my head was not, and so I went to work, and they started calling me Chrome Dome because I was so pale on top. So I'm not a hat guy at all. Oh my goodness!
I understand. I do, work in a basement, and I don't see much of the sun every day, so I do understand why that might be a problem.
It must be nice to have a hat to cover your baldness. Man, I could probably do it on stream, though, to be fair. I do have the cowboy hat, and I'm not getting sun. But you are in the middle, or did you just finish the BPPE?
We're in the middle of that. We're on day 9 of what's probably going to be like 30 plus of that.
30? Wow.
Yeah.
Why are you doing 30?
Well, it's however long it takes. We have over 650 giveaways to do.
Okay, well, why don't you explain that to the people who may not know about what that is? Because all I did was rattle off an acronym. They might not even know what that stands for.
Yeah, so BPPE stands for Big PP Energy, which, BPPE is so that we can approach sponsors for it and not be just thrown out off the rip.
Yeah.
But it's called the PP Party, and it's our partner party. That's where it came from. It became this whole thing about bringing big PP energy to the table to support small businesses. It's all about it's a festival of sorts. It's a QVC style live shopping experience of all the best that art and small business ownership has to offer on Twitch. And it's a massive giveaway event. And I know you have to be careful about giveaways on this platform. They can lead to very fickle viewership and the wrong kind of growth. But the idea of this event isn't actually the giveaways. The giveaways are just the gateway to put the businesses on a pedestal and give them their time to shine, their time to be promoted, the time to live shop their websites. We shop right on stream. We direct everybody to their websites. People drop new product for it. They have discount codes for it, and it's all about driving traffic and generating sales. And we're on day 9. I think we ended today above almost at 1,600 sales.
1,600
with a goal of 4,000. So yeah, we did 3,960 last year, and the reason it's going to take 30 days, we're on day 9 of the event. I think we've done 165 giveaways, something around there, out of like 650. So we're just over a quarter of the way through the giveaways.
Right.
So yeah, it takes a while.
So if somebody wanted to get in on these giveaways, I imagine they would go to your MoCo Made Twitch channel.
Yes.
And then all they got to do is be there when you're doing the giveaways, which is like for the next 30 days.
Follow us so we can find you. We're not trying to like force engagement or anything like this, but you do have to follow the channel just so that we can find you if we need to find you. As we give away the item, you'll enter the giveaway right in the chat, and then as long as you're there to claim it when we do the giveaway, then you have a chance to win these items, and more importantly, see all these amazing small businesses and shop their websites and support them. Like this event is a boon for small businesses in our shared communities on Twitch. It's amazing.
That was the part I was going to go into because you didn't cover that. Where are these giveaways coming from? They're fellow streamers, makers. They're in the community, the MoCo Made community. They're almost all small time streamer community members that are basically giving away an item to demonstrate what they make, what they do, to not only do great word of mouth marketing, but to show off their quality. Because holy cow, there's so many people on this platform that you would never expect the kind of quality to come out of this, because normally everybody's going to go to Amazon and buy whatever's the cheapest, but this is handmade goods. None of it's like factory made from China. I believe all of it's made by each of the people.
Yeah. There's one business on there that's like a vintage store where they buy and resell vintage goods, but they're also a miniature painter as well. But so that's one exception. But their vintage stuff is really cool, really nerdy stuff from that's vintage. It's really cool to see. But otherwise, it's basically all handmade goods. And every kind of medium you could imagine. It spans the spectrum all the way from like I'm a leather worker to paint work to 3D printed designs and 3D prints to miniature painting to fiber arts. You can find literally everything in this event and our community at large. That's what we're all about, celebrating all things art. We don't gatekeep art. We don't try to say that one form is better than the other. If you put creative energy into something, it's art and it deserves to be celebrated as such. And you'll see businesses that have been around for 20 plus years participating, and you'll see businesses that are literally starting because the event motivated them to do so. And you'll see people's first sales happening, and to people who are you've been doing it a long time, and it's a beautiful thing.
So I joined the MoCo team primarily because I looked at the team. I don't know how many teams you've seen before, but teams typically come out and it's like you got partner, you found a team, and it's all your friends that help you get partner, and then typically they don't do anything, or a massive network of everybody in the crochet category. They all are on a team. But the MoCo Made, I guess, MoCo Loco team is more specifically of like all these small businesses, makers, gamers, even like there's so many different people on the team that it wasn't just a networking opportunity for me. This opened up the door to, if I ever need like emote art for the channel or badges, or hey, I want to do a cool gift for Christmas. Who does bath bombs or something, right? You can reach out, and it's like having an entire catalog of artisan crafters that you can just dip into, and I thought that was fantastic. Now, I'm not a small business. I'm not out here selling my horrible crochet items that I'm doing for charity.
Horrible. Okay, you should see mine. All right.
Yeah, but you're not a crocheter. That's what I do every Tuesday. Well, most Tuesdays. But when you were starting this team, what did you foresee? And have you reached it? Is there more you want to do with the team?
There's always more. I don't like, a lot of people will look at MoCo Made and we're the leaders of our team and we're our, generally speaking, at the top of our category, or at least our community. I don't consider us successful yet, and I don't know that I ever will. There's just a drive in Devin and I to always do more, because we always can do more. I think we're succeeding at what we want to do but I wouldn't call it success yet. And that's just our drive, our motivation. We are incredibly motivated people, and we just want to do more, and we know we can do more. I do know what you're talking about with teams. I never would have expected our team to grow to over 250 people. Let me just say that. Never would have expected it. But every time we go through applications, there's over 10 people to go through every time. And even though we do deny people for a variety of reasons, there's still so many people to accept, because the parameters for joining our team is, well, one, we have to know who you are, because we have to know you well enough to know that you're a good being that shares our values. And sharing our values is just being a good person. That's literally it. It doesn't matter whether you have one viewer or 1,000 viewers. If you're a good person, then you belong on our team. And
how did I get on the team then?
Shut up, Sam. I know you like to pretend you're an asshole, but we all know that's not true.
Wow! How dare you? I have a reputation on the streets.
But yeah, that's basically the parameters. That, and obviously everyone that is on the team, whether they're a gamer or not, should appreciate art. I don't want anyone on our team to go anywhere within our team and not be appreciated for being an artist, because we all know that as art streamers, anyone who is an art streamer, a creative streamer of any kind, they've gone in other places on Twitch and not been appreciated for that, us included. So, outside of just being a good person and fitting, that vibe of who we are, we know that if you know who we are and you appreciate what we do, then you will appreciate art in general and be accepting of art streamers that come into your channel. But there's always more we want to do. Like this event for the PP is more focused on the small businesses, which is not everyone on our team. And it's not just people who are on our team either. We don't gatekeep our events from the community at large. But, we always are trying to communicate more with our team because we have more access to them. The charity we always want to do more with. And you mentioned, and this again is not exactly the team, but like being a hub for all things art is a huge thing for us. And it's not something that it's something we kind of stumbled into because of what we were growing and the way we were growing it. But like you said, you can go in. A lot of times I go in and ask in our Discord a question I have, not Google, because I trust their opinion more than I do just some random stranger on the internet. And like you said, you can ask to commission something. We have a list of approved artists and businesses in the top of our Discord. One way we want to expand that, we want that to be an independent website. We want to do something way bigger than it is now. Something that will be kind of like what Etsy used to be, where it's guaranteed to be small artists and businesses, handmade goods, but with a connection to social media and to streaming and to a complete package of sorts. And that's kind of where we want to expand out beyond just Twitch into other things. But we've always built this team with that idea in mind. And the more I hear people, despite the fact that it's hit a number that's so crazy to me, still say that there's that definitive meaning behind the team, means a lot, because that was always our goal. We never wanted to lose sight of that, despite the fact that it grew to this size. And I think we're accomplishing that. I do.
So you've done a lot, from streaming, charity, helping out so many businesses, sucking at basketball. What do you think is going to... Wow. Okay, let's play hockey. Let's play a Canadian sport that I might be good at.
Okay, I can't ice skate. That won't go very well.
But what would you say that your legacy is going to be? Is it going to be the stream and what you've done here on Twitch? Is it something in your personal life that you've done something really remarkable with? Yeah,
well, I think the legacy is that we're leaving behind really is the impact we're having on. Like we're fortunate to be able to do this full time, right? I am grateful every day for that opportunity that we've been able to do that. But we've been able to do everything that we do on this platform with the greater community at large in mind. We don't do anything that doesn't have the Moco Loco community in mind. And that is really what our legacy is, in my opinion. The PP is about small businesses. The charity is about raising money for St. Jude. We have MoCoCon, where we bring all these people together, over 100 people in person, and like make real IRL connections and show that all of this, it really is real, and that you are, and this really is the goal. It really making real connections. It's something that's been said for a while. Devin kind of coined this term, but not just a community, friendships that will last a lifetime. And I know on the internet that can be difficult to manage, and that can get the streamer interaction, the streamer chat interaction can, in a lot of places, not manifest that way. But we really are trying to make a real difference and make real connections. And everything that we do is with that in mind. And I really do think that is our legacy, because there's nothing we do that's just saying this is about Moco Made. It's never just about us. It's about us, all of us, and what we're capable of doing together. And the most important thing we do, I think, is for charity. I want to raise $1 million for St. Jude. And I want to create an event that raises $1 million every year for St. Jude. And I won't stop doing that until we do that. I think that's the most important, but so are the other things and what we do and the impact and the belief that people have in themselves. I think it was Babe Ross coined this term, and I've always used it since she did. She said, Moco made us believe in ourselves. And the fact that we can provide a space for people to say that, that's like the greatest compliment I've ever received. So we're just providing the groundwork for people to realize their own potential.
That's definitely fair. That's a huge compliment. I don't take compliments that well. But I kept hearing the we and our. We all know that this is Dev's legacy. I asked about what is your legacy. I'll ask her later when I bring her on the podcast. But what have you done?
Well, Devin and I are siblings, best friends, business partners, neighbors. Like, everything we do it together. You'd be hard pressed to find two people that spend more time together that don't live together. Like, we spend more time together than a lot of significant others and couples and married people do. Like,
why do you do that?
Why?
Yeah,
because we're inseparable. We're building something so important. And building our future for ourselves and our families and beyond us to the community at large. And, when I say us and our, I don't even just mean Devin. I really mean the whole community. I don't ever really speak for just me when I'm doing this, because I don't believe it's just about me or just about Devin. It's about what we're doing together, because that's what's making the impact, is that we're doing these things together. I think our legacies go hand in hand. And I know Devin would agree that St. Jude is the most important thing that we do, and the impact we can have on charity. And over $100,000 that we raised last year is literally saves lives. Like, that saves children. Children lived because of that money that we raised. And when that's $1 million, many children are living because of that money that we raised. And I would know that she would agree with what we're doing, that's the most important. But that's why I speak that way. I'm not just talking about Devin.
That's fair. I was kind of just joking that it was all her and not you.
I know.
But
I know.
it's still important to bring that out. Also, I don't know how you guys deal with each other as much and as often. Like, I'm sorry, I feel like I'd go crazy if I had to sit with my brother and make a plan of life and raise money for charity and even be on stream with my brother. That would be a hard sell to me. Holy cow. I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, we grew up this way. This is not a show. Moco Made is not a show. It is our life. It is how we grew up. It is who we are. It really is. We've been best friends our whole lives. We've spent a lot of time where we just had each other. And when you see us in a room together, like we are for our stream, that is us at our best, because that's just us living out our how we've lived out our whole lives. And we could have nothing in that basement, nothing. And Devin and I would find a way to entertain ourselves, because we've had to. We've been Like our mom was a single mom, right? She had to take us everywhere with her places and make things work. And we'd just be in the back of a car with nothing else but each other. We just have to talk to each other and make fun out of nothing. And we can do that. And the fact that we have chat that's chaotic, usually hilarious, and all these games to play and art to do, and like that just makes it easy to be in our element when we're together like that. So yeah.
That's fair. I'm going to bring up a question from chat that I think is kind of a mess. I'm going to try and tweak it a little bit to make it a better question. But Underling asked about the term parasocial being thrown around a lot on Twitch. And you had commented about how, Dev and you are all about making real connections. What is your thoughts about creating a space that's not just parasocial, that is real?
Yeah, I think that is true. And I don't think it's just thrown around. I think it's true in a lot of spaces on Twitch. I do believe that. And I do believe that's what the streamers want. They don't want a connection beyond when you're in front of the camera. That they don't want that. But we've always built our community different than that. Our goal is to go beyond parasocial, not beyond it, but for it to never be like that. And to make a genuine impact and to make genuine connections. I don't know any streamer that's our size. I've never heard of it that's trying to arrange in-person event, like to bring people from all over the country, all over the world, to meet in person, and to show that this is real. I have a dog on my arm. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Get down. They're being extra rowdy. That is the goal. It is to make a genuine impact and make a genuine connection with people. And I don't expect everyone in our community to be friends, because I think people say this all the time on Twitch, like, oh, like the art community is so great, they're different than all the other kinds of communities, like we're all friends. Like, no, and that's not even true within MoCo Made. Like, I don't think it's possible for everyone to be friends. There's too many people. There's too many people to expect everyone to just be friends. I do expect for everyone to respect each other, for everyone to listen to each other, for everyone to respect each other, and to show kindness and grace and understanding, even when there are differences.
Yes.
And we always represent that on our channel. We have conversations on our channel that in most places on the internet would start a fires, and people would be screaming and name calling and yelling. But we have them like calmly, like adults, which is crazy to say because we're usually like degenerate heathens. But we've set that aside. We have like legitimate tough conversations where people don't get upset. They listen to each other, and we all learn from our shared differences and our shared backgrounds and become better people for it. And that's what I want. I want people to become better people. I don't expect everyone to be perfect. I'm not. No one is. But I do expect you to listen and learn from other perspectives and become a better person for it.
I don't know. I feel like Ray might be perfect, but like that might be a bias.
That's true. Well, so we did put up a protector down the stairs so that she couldn't throw liquids and solids down and hit her computer and technology. So, that is a thing.
So I expected the answer to involve more of like MoCoCon and like how you take it offline and bring it into reality.
Yeah, well, that happened because some people, and this is what I mean. Like, we didn't just start MoCoCon. MoCoCon was a joke for a long time. Can you hear the dogs barking?
It's not that much. It's getting eaten about by Discord.
Okay. If it's bad, let me know. I'm going to get them out of this room. But like everything we've done, except the charity. Charity was a very definitive effort that we're going to raise money for the kids. But everything else has happened just because of the culture of our community. Like the PP happened because other people wanted to give stuff away, and then all of a sudden, like sales were happening. We weren't trying to make sales; they just were happening because people were like, "Wow, that's so cool! I didn't win that. I'm gonna go buy it," kind of thing. And that MoCoCon's the same way. Like there was always a joke from I'm not kidding, from like the community members we had, the joke was that MoCoCon was going to happen. It was obviously a joke. We were not nearly big enough to have a MoCoCon, but from the very beginning, the community and the culture was that we want to be together in person. We want to hang out because that's how people felt. And then we had Amber was coming from the UK, our very first viewer. She met us on day one from the UK, just randomly in the makers section. She was coming over to visit us, and we had a couple people that were local, to us, at least in the Pennsylvania tri-state area. And then all of a sudden, there were 40 people at the Pennsylvania Rent Fair because a couple people were meeting up nearby. And that was MoCoCon 0. We didn't call that one MoCoCon. That was just a meetup. But we call that MoCoCon 0 because after we did that, we're like, MoCoCon is a thing now. Like, we can do a MoCoCon. We can purposely arrange to have people come to Pennsylvania, come to Philadelphia, and make this a reality. And it's only because the culture of the community was already like that.
Why would anybody want to go to Philadelphia?
Because we're here, bitch.
Yeah, can you go somewhere better?
I mean, this is where we are. We need to arrange it where we are.
Yeah,
also,
but
Philadelphia is great. You should come, Sam.
Why would I want to go to Philadelphia?
Do you like cheesesteaks?
Yes, but not with Cheese Whiz. That's disgusting.
Do you like? Yeah, I actually agree. I agree with that. It's better with.
See, we agree on everything. This is amazing.
We agree on everything. You just said you don't like to Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, but that's because I'm a Canadian. Like,
okay,
you're telling me.
Sam?
Yeah.
What about Devin?
A little bit less, yeah.
Okay, what about Raylan?
I feel like that would be super goddamn weird for a bald, angry Canadian to fly across the border to see a little child. I'm sorry, that might cross a couple lines.
Listen, Raylan's the star of the show.
I'm sure of it.
Okay, so I just gave you a bunch of reasons, and then what about like 100 other people that are awesome?
Yeah, all right. Name 5.
There's 61 people in your chat right now.
Yeah, you didn't name anyone. You're supposed to name the people that are cool.
Let's see. I see. Okay, well, there's actually someone in the chat who's scared to meet us. That's Captain Co. He's literally our neighbor. He lives down the street and he won't meet us.
Wow.
Let's see. There's Moxie. We've met Moxie. We've met Rexy. We've met Pocket Roddy. Let's see. They're all in your chat right now.
Wow. Okay. All right. You named 3, but that's close enough.
I'm just saying, people that are in your chat right now that I've met in person.
Yeah.
What, do you want me to name all 100 that are at MoCoCon last year?
No, that's fine. I don't need to go through the attendance sheet. I just wanted 5. I wanted you to make people feel good about attending and knowing you. But now let me ask you an interesting question. Obviously, these people are going to MoCoCon to meet you, Ray, and maybe Dev, right? They're coming out to meet you. When did you get your first request for an autograph, and how do you sign things?
Have I even?
Don't tell me nobody's asked for your signature before. That's not possible, especially if you're having hundreds of people to MoCoCon.
I don't. Devin signs her artwork. That's like a common thing to do. But like, I think the only thing I've put my signature on like 2 things. Otherwise, I've not been asked to sign anything. So I made a baseball. It was a PP giveaway, and when I was sewing it up, I ripped a panel. And when I ripped the panel, the person said, "Can just send me the ripped panel, but sign it." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. That's a cool way to like fix this mistake I made." And I signed the panel and I sent that to them. And then one other person made. It was a really meaningful baseball that I made for them. It had a lot of affirmations on it, dealing with mental health. And they asked that we sign the ball so that every time that they held the ball and looked at those affirmations, like that our names were also on it. Those are the only 2 times I've asked to sign anything.
That's it.
That's it. I can't think of another time. Now we had so this is different than a signature, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
We had at the last MoCoCon, we had a little booklet that came on a lanyard that everybody could like doodle in, write in, like all the people they met there. A way to like create memories and remember the people that they met at MoCoCon. So I like that was technically signing the book, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like, hey, this put your signature on this type of thing. I would say that's different. And also that was initiated by us, not other people. Like we gave them that book and said, hey, go around and go meet everyone and have them sign your book, kind of thing.
So did you
So I
practice
don't-
your signature for that, or like do you just scribble? Like how do you do your
Yo,
signature?
you want to see my signature? I can do it real quick. Hold on. It's not
Guys,
good.
get your print screen ready. He's gonna put it up on air. You can print this off.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and try. It's not very good.
But
Here's my signature.
were you not put on the spot to be like, oh, how do I sign something for people?
No. Oh, I was put on the spot one time. So like Devin's the painter, obviously, so she signs her artwork. She has a signature that's just for her artwork, right?
Yeah.
Well, I did a piece of art for St. Jude when I had to pretend to be Devin. We do a sibling swap day where I'm Devin and she's Derek, and I had to paint.
Yeah.
So now I had a piece of artwork and I had to sign it. I didn't know how to do that. That felt weird because I couldn't put my scribbly signature on that.
I guess it's different for you
So-
because you don't have an online alias. Everybody knows you're Derek from the block.
Yeah. And I can't even use my online alias because that doesn't mean it's me or Devin, you know?
Right.
MoCo means it could be me or it could be Devin. So I
Right.
didn't know how to sign that. I think I did like I practiced doing like a fancy like DM, I think. Or maybe just a D. It would have just been a D. I have a whole notebook. I did this on stream for like a whole stream while we were chatting. I just like drew these stupid looking D's until I got one that like looked kind of right, and I tried to mimic it on the painting.
I love how chat's picking up on just the D as well.
Yeah, just a
So-
D. Yes, chat.
So with MoCoCon, you've done 3 of those now, 4?
We've done 3.
What-
2 officially called MoCoCon, and then the MoCoCon 0 that was like the meetup that proved that MoCoCon was a feasible concept.
So what is MoCoCon for and when is it?
August 21st and 22nd and 23rd, officially. People come in a few days before, but the official dates are the 22nd and 23rd of August. So 2 official days. It used to be, day 1 used to be at the Pennsylvania Ren Fair. We used to bus everyone out there, and that's super fun. The Ren Fair is amazing. It's a lot of fun, but with 100 people strong at the Ren Fair, it was impossible to like be a group there and move as a group because there's so many things to do and see. And it wound up being like we're there together but separate. And the point was that we want to be together. We want to grow stronger and closer together. And everybody saw each other usually at one point or another, but nobody spent not the whole group didn't spend a significant amount of time together. So I felt like we outgrew the Ren Fair, and this year we're looking to rent like an indoor-outdoor space for just privately for us, where we're going to have. We haven't really planned it all yet. We're still in the planning stages. We're talking to like 5 venues right now, 4 or 5 venues right now, trying to figure out the right spot. But where we have like a lot of outdoor games and stuff like that to do, and activities like that. There'll be food, obviously, and drinks if you drink, and provide just our own space, our own chance to have that kind of outdoor fun. That will be day 1. And then day 2, we have a banquet at the hotel where we have a room block and everything. Where we have catered food and stuff like that. And then that night we usually go out to a bowling alley. Like that's with whoever's left. Most people leave by Sunday afternoon because they got to get home to wherever they are. But whoever's left Sunday night, we go to a local bowling alley and arcade, and that's how we kind of finish day 2. But
Are you guys
that's
big
what we do
enough
so
of a
far.
MoCoCon for people to come and do like an artist alley kind of thing where you set up a couple tables?
Not yet, no. Eventually, we want to be in a true convention center that would allow for that. And there's people arting everywhere, and people are doing like art trades, and people bring like trinkets and stuff to hand out and whatnot. But we don't want people to be there for business. You know, as at this, we wanted them to be there for friendship. So it's not our angle on it yet. But I do see a future where we're at a convention center style building, and that will allow for people to really promote themselves that way. But not yet. Yeah, definitely not yet.
Okay. You obviously get a lot of compassion from the community. I'm sure they've sent you things or given you things. Have you a fond memory of something that somebody's given you?
Oh my God, we've gotten so many things. I don't even know where to start. We get so many things. We're kind of like exploding at the seams with stuff that's been sent to us. The most memorable thing though, and this actually was why the PP is called the PP. So like the first year we did it, it was our partner party, right? We got partnered in April, and we were just like in May, we were just going to get together and just give away a whole bunch of stuff to thank people. And we were calling it the partner party. But like it's the internet and it's our degenerate community. Very quickly, people were like joking, "Ha ha, PP," right? And that was just a thing because obviously that's how it would go in our community. We literally print 3D. We 3D print dino dicks, so it made sense that people would go that way. And we received a package randomly, and we opened it, and it was a purple glass dick, not like a dildo glass dick, like a purple stained glass dick, like a hanging ornament. And we had no idea what it came from, no idea. We did not know. We had no clue. It had no name, nothing on the package. We did not recognize anything that we could put it to anyone. And it turned out to be someone we met during the event. And during the event, they were like, "This is hilarious. I'm capitalizing on this. I'm sending them purple PP, purple because of Twitch." And it still hangs in our studio now. After that point, the event was 100% solidified as the PP, and now we're on 4 years of partner and celebrating our 5th PP. So that's probably the most memorable as far as like the long lasting effect on the community. There's been some that have been more emotional, that are memorable in that way, but that's definitely the one that's like the most long lasting like effect on the community, and it just hangs there. It hangs behind Devin. If you focus, it's not really like in plain sight, but if you look behind Devin, you'll see just 2 balls hanging below her. Those are the balls of the dick. They're like right above her head, like up here. Most of you probably have seen it and not even realized, but yes.
Why above her head?
Why not?
You don't want the dick and balls above your head?
Well, I mean, that's just where it made sense to hang it.
What do you mean it made sense to hang? How does it make sense?
We're in a basement, Zam. So, like we don't have just a place to put everything.
You have the entire basement. Sense. You could have put it on the table. You could have put it back behind you.
Well, we wanted it like discreetly in cam, but not in cam. That it was like we wanted it to be in a specific spot, and there was only really one spot that made sense. Because behind Devin, there's like a kind of open space, but behind me, there's like the corner where all the art and all the stuff that we've received has gone, and it's like really colorful and just kind of it would blend in there. So it just made sense to go there. Devin like turned around, hung it up there, and it's just been there ever since.
So what you're trying to tell me is that the PP you got is hung?
It's hung, well hung.
And the most important thing you've ever received was a dick.
A dick, dude. We've received a lot of dicks though, and we've sent out hundreds of dicks. Hundreds.
Are you on a watch list by any chance? Like,
no, we probably should be, but we're not. I'm not aware of being on one.
Okay, interesting how you just get these random knickknacks. Do you have a PO box, or do they actually know your address, or is this all being handed by person? Okay,
PO box. Yeah. If anybody wants it, it's in our Discord. It's not publicly on our channel for reasons, but it's in our Discord.
For reasons. So let me shift gears a little bit. I want to know, what was your worst experience ever on Twitch?
Worst experience ever.
Was it raiding into someone who didn't like you? Was it drama with a creator like myself who's bald and made fun of you?
My worst experience is probably a little different than Devin's. Like there's one that comes to mind that was like community driven, that was like around us. We basically had a predator in our community, a
Like a
female.
sexual predator?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
We did not know how it was impacting our community, because she came off as this super bubbly, like well-liked person. But she was literally connecting like a web amongst our community, that was literally impacting like a lot of people. Like this person doesn't like that person. That person doesn't like this person. It was crazy. It was crazy. And we got to the bottom of it. And when we did, that's when we jumped the partner. We jumped from like struggling to get above like 60, low 60 viewers. We jumped. It was the biggest jump we ever made. We figured this out and got to the bottom of it, and we jumped over 15 average viewers the next month, and we're partnered the month after that. That's how much it was impacting, because people wanted to be around us, but they were stepping on eggshells around each other because of this one person. And like that was at the very beginning of streaming, and it was a good lesson. But around that, like for me, there was an incident with like a small subsector of our group where we just had a falling out, but we were too new to streaming to just like, now when we realize like we're just not vibing, like we just kind of handle our business, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean banning people, not always, doesn't always mean banning people, but we set boundaries. We know how to set boundaries now, and if you cross that, we're going to tell you, and if you continue to cross that, we're not going to tolerate it. But back then we didn't know that, and when we were getting entwined in this thing that was happening, and it was just really just a giant misunderstanding and a giant, really just, you're not our people. Like we were friends, and you were a very prominent member of our community, and also the biggest streamer that wasn't us in our community at the time.
Yeah.
So it was complicated, and we felt like we just kind of had to let it ride, because we couldn't make a stance on it without like basically maybe ending our career, because of how well liked this person also was.
Right.
And the reason it was my worst was because she streamed Tarkov. And Tarkov ran through, I got her into Tarkov. Tarkov's where all the growth happened in her channel, and all gaming of Tarkov happened through her channel. So when things were falling out, and we knew it between each other, but the community didn't, like I wasn't invited. I knew that, she knew that, but there was like 6 months where like I was almost kind of ostracized from my own community, and there was nothing I could do about it. Yep. And people would be like, well, why aren't you playing? Like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? But they didn't know that I was dealing with this thing on the backside of things, and that I was basically not invited. And that was really tough to go through, because Tarkov has been the reason I came to Twitch. It was the reason all the people, not all, but like 90% of the people in our community even play it, because of me, including her. And I didn't feel welcome in my own community for like 6 months, and it was a really rough time. That was the roughest personally for me, feeling like I just wasn't even belonging in my own space. And that's why I say, like, if you don't, the first person that needs to feel comfortable in your space is you. And if you don't, you need to do something about it immediately. And it's hard, especially when you're new. And that's why we didn't. But we learned this hard lesson early on, and I'm grateful for it, because had we not, this person would have just been more and more and more and more ingrained in our community. She probably would have been a mod. She probably would have had inside access to all these things that were really important and you know, like, not for the public. And then what? What do we do? So I'm grateful it happened when it did. It sucked to go through it, and now I really know how to set a boundary and tell people, like, this is too much, and if this is wrong, and we're not going to tolerate this. And I do it, you know, in a kind way, being more direct about it now. But a really, really, really important lesson to learn. And please, if someone's making you uncomfortable, set about. If it's so uncomfortable, just ban them. You don't have to have a reason. You don't have to have a reason. Just ban them. It is unbelievable how clear-minded you will feel the next day you come back, and you don't have to manage that vibe that was not vibing.
Yep.
But if they're a good person and they mean well and they're just not, it's just something's not clicking, set a boundary with them. And if it doesn't work, then you've given them a reason to say, look, I tried to work this out with you. It's just not working.
Yep.
So
I had to learn that lesson myself, and it's damn near identical to your story, but I had made them a mod. This person, I put out the boundaries twice even. They didn't follow through with the second one, and the third one, I had to straight up ban them, and they were a mod. They had the background information, and just like you, I was ostracized in my own community during that. And then what's even worse is that you see them in the other communities, and you don't want to be there. And that just kills you, because it's like, okay, now my favorite hangout, my favorite bar is gone. Where do I go? What do I watch now? And it's incredibly demoralizing to the streamer. But at the same time, you don't want to drag them through the dirt and ruin their name and everything else, because it's not public business. It's just you didn't mesh with them. There was an issue. You had to do what you had to do, because if you make streaming a chore, you're not going to be a streamer, not for long.
No,
if you're not having fun, you're done.
It's going to affect you in your life too. Like it'll affect you beyond just the stream. And like, I feel that so much. And like, we didn't even ban this person. This person that I'm talking about is not banned. Now they're not welcome, and they would be banned if they came back. But we didn't even have to ban them. And one thing I did learn in that process was things were getting so distant as like this issue was getting more and more pronounced in behind the scenes between me, Devin, them, and that small group of people. We were so worried about the impact, but they had started to distance themselves so much from our community, and our growth continued to happen despite them and them not being there or not being present, that by the time things actually came to a point, there was maybe 5 people that even knew that they were there before. And no one even asked, because they were so distant already. It was like they already weren't a part of the community anymore, even though we were so scared to pull that trigger, you know? And I feel like a lot of people do that because the falling out is happening. They're not going to spend that much time around you anymore. And they're not going to be present to the point where, as long as you're still doing your thing and still showing up and still streaming and growing, that like there's new people already, and they never knew who that person was. And when they were gone, it was like no one even asked, no one batted an eye, no one asked a question. Maybe once, I can remember one time sending a DM to someone, be like, hey, you mentioned them in chat, we kind of brushed over it. We had a falling out. And that's all I told them, and that's all I needed to tell them, and that was it. It was so mind opening how little that actually impacted us.
I feel like there's a lesson that can be learned here, and I feel like you have the wisdom, and I'm going to pass it to you so that you do the wisdom, because I'm not good at thinking. But like everybody in chat was commiserating about how they have a friend or a person similar to this, that everybody has to go through learning this lesson. It's like one of the battle scars of being a streamer. You have to be betrayed by somebody that you thought was good for your community but wasn't. What do you think is a takeaway for somebody who doesn't know that there's somebody who is holding back their growth or not vibing with their stream? What clues people into this? How do you think you can find this person? Not saying that you're going on a witch hunt, because that's not what you should be doing, but you should be looking at your community every now and then and being like, yo, does this person fit in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the best way to, I'm just like trying to think about it, like the best way to think about or to like notice it isn't to just like think about it when you're sitting at your desk at night. Think about how you feel when you're live, when you're in front of the camera and you can't interact a certain way because you have to, you're especially with this person because you're thinking about it, how they make you feel the second they come in your chat.
Yeah.
Like if your first thought with Akers is like, oh my God, they're here, then you've already noted that they're not the vibe. Yeah. Because everyone else let's face it, streamers want people watching them and they want people chatting. That's what makes the stream fun, is the interaction and the fun you have with chat. So if your first thought when someone comes in this person, the X person, comes in and they make you feel like you don't want to read their chat message, you don't want to interact with them, or you're worried about how they're going to respond in any way, shape, or form, other than just being excited that and happy that someone is there to talk to, then you've already that is a really clean hint that you're not vibing with them. And then from there, you got to figure out why. Like, is it because they're just not it, or is it because they just need some boundaries? Because some people just need clear communication. Like, some people genuinely just need to be communicated with, and that communication can't happen on stream usually. Like, you just need to be more direct with people, and I genuinely believe most people just need room to grow too. Like, I don't like just getting up in arms and just firing away at people. I genuinely believe like 95% of them just need a little bit of leadership and a little bit of push from you to be like, hey, like, this isn't exactly appropriate. And here's why. But then there is 5% you're just not vibing with. And if you keep like thinking that about them when you see them in your chat or see them in your community or see them in a VC with other people, wondering that they're probably doing those same things that you don't like and you've been trying to set boundaries on, but you're not there to control it because you're not in that VC, like, because that's happened too. Like, and if you have any second thought about any of that, you've identified something, and usually you'll feel that when you're live. You'll be like, oh, I see that person's message. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that one.
I have 3 points there. First off, none of this applies to Conan, even though every time I see Conan, it's like, oh, God, great. Here's Conan again. What troll is he going to do today? Is he going to redeem Lizard on our podcast?
He means well.
Of course. The second note is that it doesn't have to be the moment they come into stream. That is a huge point. Absolutely, I 100% agree. That's actually, I didn't even think of that. So that's a big wisdom drop there. My wisdom drop I was going to do is like immediately after stream, when you're unwinding and you're still having the stream fresh in your mind, and you think about a thing that is like, man, that really tickled my pink. That's not an idiom. That is something that you want to also clue in on, is how you feel immediately after. Like, for example, literally on Tuesday, I had people who were yelling at me for saying AI not bad, that I had to be on their side, or that I was a disgusting person. I'm like, man, that really rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm going to need to have a conversation about boundaries with those people, because it's like, I'm not here to care about AI being good or bad. I understand it's a very controversial topic. We're not really going to go into that because I've talked about AI on this podcast almost every episode. But I don't want to go through the whole AI thing. You guys can have your own opinion whether it's bad or good. I think that it's good in some ways and bad in other ways. But at the same time, that was a situation after stream where I was like, man, this really sucked that it happened. And I don't want to ban talking about AI in my streams ever again. It's just the whole calling someone disgusting for not agreeing with your perspective rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like that's where I need to address that. But the third part, everybody in chat has really been mentioning that they've gone through something similar and they've had the same experience. And it's just, why does that happen? Why are there people like that online? I don't understand.
I mean, let's face it, like, the world out there can really suck, and the internet is the ultimate place for that, because they're not just your neighbor across the street or the person you've seen at the supermarket. They can be from anywhere, and they can, quite frankly, try to be anyone. And that's usually the problem. The problem usually is they're trying to be someone they aren't, and that's when they're not vibing. Well, I'd say half the time they're trying to be someone they aren't. The other half, they're just like, I mean, you can't expect every person to be a good person.
Not me.
And the internet,
I'm such an asshole.
Everyone just has their problems, everyone has their issues, and we don't know anyone's background when they come into a stream, and we don't know even what they're telling us is the truth, right? And you have to manage that in a lot of ways, and usually the trash takes itself out. It might take some time, but the trash does take itself out, because at the end of the day, they're just going to clash and clash and clash until it just doesn't work. And it's just, it's the shitty part about being on the internet. But I choose to try not to focus on it too much, despite the fact that we've been through like uh, a, a crazy amount of shit, in my opinion.
Yes.
An abnormal amount of shit has been dealt on our plate on this platform for how small we are overall. We have dealt with every kind of thing you can imagine on the internet in the 5 years we've been doing this. But despite all that, there's so much good that comes out of it with the right connections you make that it just so far outweighs all of that shit and makes it easy to deal with that shit, knowing all the good that has come out of it and all the real connections and the good people and the impact.
Solid
but
point.
I think your second thought was really good too, because I do that too. Devin and I both do that. There'll be times we've rated out and we've shut everything down and we haven't even left our seats at our desk and be like, that situation was awkward.
Yeah.
And we talk about it the same way you just said. As soon as you're sitting there, you're like, well, it's fresh in your mind. And Devin and I do that. And sometimes we're two people, and this is kind of an advantage of it. There's so much happening, like you don't always recognize something in the moment. You might have read the message, but you didn't process it that way. And Devin will be like, that was weird. And I'll be like, I didn't even notice that, or vice versa. And that is an advantage we have, and we pick up on different things because we're different people. But I think that's also really important. I do agree with that.
Chat also mentioned about how people came to them to address the trash and how that alerted them to the issue. What is your opinion of bringing things up? Because naturally, I had to do that because I personally thought it was the right thing to do. Because naturally, with you and me, there was a teammate that I had issues with, a previous drama, and they got on the team, and I had to make it clear in case something happened. How do you feel about people approaching you about other people who may or may not impact you?
Well, yeah, I think we are like wholly approachable people. We've always been that way. Like I know a lot of streamers will be like, don't send me DMs. Don't do this. They put up those walls. And I understand why they need to do that. That's the boundary they feel like they need to set so that they have their own peace of mind. And that's fine. If that's how you want to run your community, that's your prerogative. I don't blame you for doing so. Devin and I have managed our community being completely open and approachable at all times for any reason. It could just be to say hi or have a conversation. I mean, you message me out of the blue with random ass shit all the time, and
you're airing out our DMs live on air. Jeez.
Yeah, with random ass shit.
What do you mean? They're great memes.
Usually they're pretty good. I won't say they're all bad. Sometimes they're bad though. But
that's fair.
My point is you can message us for any reason. It doesn't have to be good, bad, or anything in between. It can be just I want to say hi and have a quick conversation. We want people to come to us that way. If someone feels uncomfortable, I want them to come to us. We, as the streamer, we don't get to think twice about what we've said. There's times Devin and I have said something and we immediately knew that didn't come out right. It's not that we didn't mean what we said, it's that we know it doesn't come out right. But we don't have a chance to type it in chat, say, that doesn't sound right. And I'm going to, rephrase that. And if we do something that doesn't come out right, it rubs someone the wrong way, I want them to message us. I want to know that happened so that I can clear the air on what I did intend. Or maybe I did intend to say that, but I didn't realize that it hits on a nerve or it does this or it does that. And I want to know those things because that's part of being a better person, is hearing the other perspectives from things that we don't know about. I grew up a very specific way and you grew up a completely different way, and we all come from different backgrounds. I don't know that something I say is offensive, or sometimes I say something I didn't even mean it that way, but I didn't have a chance to clarify because, chat's going a mile a minute. So we always encourage people to reach out to us and say, hey, that I didn't like this, or, I didn't like that from that other person. Be like, I'll address it. I'll talk to them. I want to have those conversations because I want people to be adults about things too, and not just throw their arms up and create mayhem and create a toxic environment. because I do believe most of the time that kind of stuff happens. We just need to have a conversation, and need to have a conversation where we have a chance to process our thoughts, because I know people understand, but I don't think anyone could possibly put themselves in our shoes unless they've done it, to understand how fast our brains are operating when we're running our stream. Between communicating with each other, now there's Raylan who's yelling whether she's upstairs or downstairs, and chat's going a mile a minute while we're trying to do art or focus on a game or focus on chat. And we make mistakes. But even when someone comes to us like you did, I want them to do that too, and I want to work through those things. And that wound up working out a specific way that we don't need to talk about.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just that, like, it comes down to, like, in your case was different, but sometimes it comes down to, like, I don't expect everyone on our stream team to be friends the same way I don't expect everyone in our community to be friends, but I do expect respect and coexisting in the same space with respect. And if you can't do that, and someone has come to us the exact opposite way about someone else, and when I said, look, I'm not just going to remove this person from our stream team and our community because you told me I should. My interaction has been good with them. They've been completely kind and welcoming and represented our values, as have you. I don't know what's gone wrong between you two, but you can coexist as adults and respect each other in our space, without this needing to be, an issue. And the person who approached me left when I said that. When I put our foot down and said, I'm not just doing this because you told me to. You don't have control of this like I do. And they left, and they've never been back to our community in any way, shape, or form. That was their decision. If you can't be an adult in our community, you're not going to make it very far. That's very, very childish behavior, to just be like, well, you didn't do what I said, so I'm leaving. Because I want respect. I don't expect to be friends. You don't have to rate each other. You don't have to talk to each other. But you do have to respect each other. And if you're not going to, that's not going to fly. It's not going to work.
So I'm going to need to message you after this. There's a thing between me and Dev you need to be aware of. I'll DM you later.
Okay, sounds good.
I need her off the team because this is impacting my... Imagine.
This is actually hilarious you say this, because the person that, like, I felt ostracized from my community for, when all that came to a head, I was the problem, legitimately, in her book. And she basically told Devin that she wanted to be friends with Devin, but not me. And still, like, just be totally normal in our community. That's real. That actually happened.
No shot.
Crazy.
No. Yep. Oh my God.
That happened.
That would almost be as bad as, like, I don't want to deal with Dare, but Ray could stay. Oh yeah, Ray, perfect.
That was literally it. It's like, I know some people are better friends with me and some people are better friends with Devin, but, like, that was crazy. That actually happened. That was exactly what she expected to do moving forward. And Devin being Devin, because she knew exactly how this was play out, was basically like, okay, prove it. Prove that you can exist in this community and just acknowledge that Derek exists, but be friends with me. And she never came back. It never happened.
Yeah.
She never came back after that. Devin just was like, all right, you think that's possible? Go ahead. Show me that that's possible. And
I feel like it's impossible.
It wasn't.
A question that chat really likes to hear, and I've heard so many answers. I don't think any of these answers are actually going to apply to yourself. Well, it's more MoCo, but obviously as a streamer, you want to experiment. You want to bring all these cool things to stream. It could be like a chat bot, a channel redemption, a song that plays, a sound alert. What is something you added to stream and immediately thought it was terrible and had to end up removing from stream, or that you want to remove?
I think there's a lot more things that Devin would say on that front, because I'm the one that does obnoxious things on stream.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. There's 100% so many more things that Devin would say. Actually, I don't think there's anything I would say on that front.
No,
I think any answer on that front, as far as adding things, would come from Devin, because I'm the one that's obnoxious.
So you like everything that you've ever added to the stream? You think it's all been amazing?
When it comes to stuff like that, we're like the exact opposite. We remove everything from stream. We don't have anything. Our vibe and what we've done is all about like very raw interaction. We have high-end tech across the board, but we don't have alerts. We don't have sound bites. We don't even have transitions.
Why not?
We don't have overlays. That's just been our thing. We've just always been just like very raw with what we do. It's just our content is a raw interaction with chat. It's directly me, Devin, and the interaction with what's being said in chat. And I think that makes us uniquely us and very, very different than what you'll see almost anywhere on Twitch. We don't have any of that stuff. We put a picture of our dogs in the middle of the screen, and that was literally because I got so tired, and one of them is here. His name is Shweevy. I got so tired of chat complaining every day that our 4 cams didn't exactly perfectly line up in the middle of the screen. And I didn't care because that just doesn't bother me at all. But I got so tired of hearing it every day that I was just like, all right, dogs. And they covered that middle part of the screen, and that's why that overlay is there. Like, I won't even call it an overlay, but by our standards, it is. And so that's been our thing. We used to have alerts. No sound alerts, but we used to have like follow and sub alerts and bit alerts. But with one of the things we dealt with online with hate and whatnot, and what that was doing on our channel with trying to make things pop up on stream, we got rid of them during that period of time, and then we kind of just liked the fact that we became the alerts. Like, Devin and I are the alerts. When something happens, we acknowledge it, and we acknowledge it differently every single time.
So I had to facepalm there because you were talking about streaming raw and your dogs, and it's become somewhat of a meme in my stream where I talk about raw dogging things almost on a weekly, if not streamly basis. So you got really close to bringing it up today about how you raw dog your stream, and I just in my head it really hurt. It really was so close to that. I'm glad you didn't say that.
I wish I did now, actually.
So you have nothing that you wanted to take away from stream. What would Dev want to remove from the stream? Is it the gaming that she always loses?
Me, most days.
Wow, you're not wrong though. I mean, there's days that
literally she if she could like remove me for like an hour from every stream, I think she would love that. Let's see. She would remove the reverb microphone, which used to be her thing, but now I use it to announce streakers in our chat
Why do you do it for streakers? That's so weird.
Because it's funny.
What? How is it funny?
Weird.
Explain the joke.
Weirdo,
Explain the funny.
It is weird. That's why I do it. I do shit because it's weird.
This is why people say you have big cocaine energy. Like it's Dare does drugs. That's why he's so energetic all the time.
The fact that people think I'm on drugs when I am completely sober is absolutely a compliment. And lots of people, new chatters, have said that in chat. Someone asked Devin once if I'm ever sober. And that was their first time chat. And that was one of my better compliments as a content creator. I am unhinged all the time. I don't need drugs, alcohol, or anything to be unhinged. I just am.
So that goes to another great question. How do you deal with compliments as a streamer? Everybody hates them. Why do we hate them?
I don't hate them.
What do you mean?
Devin does. Devin doesn't handle compliments as well. But I don't hate compliments. I really don't.
Chatter's been talking about how your beard is amazing all night.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I grew it myself. I tried to dye it purple. Did you know that?
No, I know you
actually.
I know you shaved it to a goatee for me for ZamCon.
I did. I shave it in all sorts of crazy things when I'm ready to shave it. But I did in solidarity with ZamCon shave it in the goatee. But I did try. So like I normally color it purple. I have like a color product that I put in because like for our partner party, I always color it purple. That came up because I promised Twitch that if they partnered us that I would color my beard purple, and that's how the staff member told us we got partnered, by telling me in chat to go get the purple dye, because they had heard me saying about how I was going to dye my beard. So that's why that became a thing. This year I tried to like more permanently dye it. It didn't go well.
Why did it not go well?
Because I tried to do it without bleaching my beard, which I need to do. In order to do that properly, I need to bleach my beard. But I was not. Well, for anything dark hair. Anything dark hair, you need to bleach first. Purple? Well, it was dark purple. It was there. If you really paid close attention, you could tell it was purple, but not on camera.
Huh. I've dyed my facial hair blue and red, and I gotta say red stuck a lot better than blue. So maybe it's the darker colors.
Well, I could try red for St. Jude. But
that's fair.
I don't know. So I didn't want to. I felt weird about like bleaching hair that's like on my face when I don't really know what I'm doing. That process didn't feel. I didn't feel confident.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was bleaching my my goatee and I was doing my mustache and I was just inhaling bleach the entire time, I'm pretty sure I might have killed some brain cells. Don't ask Chad.
Thank you for saying that. That is exactly why I didn't do it.
Yeah, Chad's gonna be like, oh, just a few brain cells. No, I had to do it twice, and each time it smells so not good. Like it's not paint thinner, you know? Paint thinner, I could smell that all day, but like bleach burns.
1 year for the PP, I will pay a professional to bleach my hair and do it right. But I'm not doing that myself. Definitely not. I don't
recommend it. I bleached it like 4 times because I didn't think it was bleached long enough. And so it came out basically Santa white at the end and so brittle. Yeah, it was not the best time. I don't recommend.
At least it grew back.
Yeah, somewhat. Like I noticed I have little thin hairs on the side of my cheek, and yet you don't. How do you grow the hairs in the side of your beard?
That's where it grows best for me.
I bet you could have quite the mutton chops.
Oh, I've done it. You want to see a picture? I might have a picture somewhere. I've done mutton chops.
No.
I've done mutton chops before.
Was it for like a Ren fair?
No. Like literally, okay, this goes down to the fact that I'm just like a fucking doofus degen all the time. Like if I'm ready to shave my beard, I will go to Chad, like, Chat, I'm ready to shave. And we'll spend the week determining which dumbass style I'm going to shave it into. And then I will do a Friday stream where I shave it into that style and do that stream. That's what I do. Hold on. I can find it. It might take me a minute.
While you're finding it, I'm going to insult your choice of games because you play extraction games like Tarkov and was it Dark and Darker?
I don't really play Dark and Darker. I've tried it. I've tested it out. The only extraction shooter I really play is Tarkov. I've tried a couple of the others.
Why don't you play like what is that, Arc Raiders or Marathon or any of those games?
Well, I did try Arc Raiders, but when I started playing it, I had like major crashing issues to the point that it was basically unplayable. And so, you know what? That reminds me.
Chat's literally sharing the emote of you with mutton chops.
That's the burn side. It's even better than the mutton chops. Here, I'm just going to drop it right here for you to see it in full glory. But that's where that's taken from.
All right. I have to show Chat. All right, Chat, come over here. We got to show you this. Oh my God. Oh, Chat, I don't know what to say about this, right?
It's hilarious, dude.
He looks so weird with hair.
It looks so dumb.
I don't know what to say, but I'm glad that I don't have this hairstyle. Also, the camera of yours is messed up on this scene because for some reason it's all messed up. Either way, that's what he looks like with the mutton chops, and it is I would not do it again. Not attractive.
Again for the lulz, for sure. I'm not saying that looked good. That was by far the one that looked worse.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. That does seem very worse.
Not even close.
So, speaking of being attractive and being a streamer, how are you single?
Well, my lack of sex life is well documented.
Who documents this?
Well, it's talked about on stream all the time about how I am single. I am very single. I've been single for a long time. But also like dating online, like I'm meeting a lot of people, but like that's a tricky line to cross. I don't think, and we've talked about this a lot on stream. I don't think I want to cross that line. It would take a very specific situation to make me think I do want to cross that line, because this isn't just a hobby. This is my career, and it's also my sister's career. And if things go wrong in a weird way, like I don't want to put my career between that. So that's been my stance. It's not that I'm not open to the fact that I could meet my person in this network that I'm in, because I could. But I'm closed off to the idea, and it would take a very specific situation because it could cause so many problems, and I don't want to go there.
First off, Mean Mug, thanks for another wonderful raid. Welcome in, everybody. I'm talking with Derek from the team MoCo Loco, also MoCo Made. Wonderful guy. You should totally date. What is that one thing? What would specifically make you think of dating someone from Twitch?
I don't know, because it hasn't happened yet. I've gotten, there's people who have made it abundantly clear that they're interested in me. That was not the way, because especially how they did it. That was not the way. There's like a random DM
I need the tea. How did they do it, and why was it the wrong way?
It was a random DM out of nowhere. It's just like, by the way, like I'm really into you, and I was just like, wait, what? I was not expecting this. Or like one person was drunk. That's when they did it, and they told me that they were, and then they did it, and I wasn't even awake when the messages came in. So I woke up to them the next day, and I was like, oh boy, this is not it.
How did you respond?
Basically kind of what I just told you is like, I think you're really cool, but like I'm also not really looking for this within the community. This is my job as well, and I don't want to. I just am not looking for this, especially right now in the community. But it was interesting. That was really awkward for sure.
So really how could they do it better? Do they need to write a handwritten letter and send it to the PO box and sign it in their blood?
It's just going to happen organically, just from being around for a while and like gaining trust the way any community member would gain trust. There's people that have been around a long time that I trust a lot, and not like I'm into them that way, but like there has to be a significant amount of trust involved before I would ever consider making that leap, because I'm putting, in my opinion, a lot on the line if something were to happen that could hurt my career. So there has to be like a level of trust for sure, like a pretty big level of trust before I would ever think to be like, maybe this can work kind of thing. That, or like I meet them on Twitch, but they're like completely separate from our community. I could see that being a thing too. Like they're on Twitch, but like it's not in the network. You know what I mean? I could see that kind of being a thing that could happen.
See, I dated 2 streamers, and both of them ended up with drama and a terrible time. I don't recommend dating streamers. But there is something that feels nice about dating somebody that knows all about the Twitch and that you're broadcasting and what it means and all that sort of stuff, and can help support you and be like an amazing, not necessarily crutch, but it means a lot more when they're willing to help out with a stream and stuff. So it kind of, to me, seems like a good idea. And I'd probably date another streamer, even though every streamer I dated went horribly wrong. But
it's really funny you say that, because the 2 girls that I have matched with on dating apps that they mentioned in their dating app, I don't do this in my dating app at all, but they mentioned in their dating app that they stream on Twitch. When I brought that up, because I thought that was great, I got ghosted.
See, I don't know if I would want to put that in my dating profile, because I feel like that's kind of like begging for people to come and watch me instead of date me. So I don't know.
it was like one of the things they were proud to talk about when they're talking about their hobbies in their profile. I was like, well, okay, there's definitely mutual ground here, and there's someone, this person will understand what I do for a living. I don't lead in with that, and I try to avoid talking about that initially altogether, because most people are not going to understand, or they're going to think I'm broke, which is not exactly wrong, but because, I don't make a lot of money, but I don't need that to be my first impression either, So I don't usually bring that up, and it's definitely not on my profile, but they added. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I do this too. I didn't say I do it for a living. I said I do this too, like, in one way or another. And I was ghosted both times. So that was the
Wow.
thing.
So let me ask you an interesting question here. Where would you take a streamer for a first date?
Well, that would depend on a lot of things. The last time I dated someone was in the middle of the pandemic, and she was immunocompromised, and that was an experience. Yeah.
How do you?
She came all the way from Massachusetts. I don't know why I matched with her. She shouldn't have been in my radius. Like, my radius did not go out to Massachusetts, but I don't know how, but I matched with her, and like, it was the pandemic, and it was when like peak shutdown. And so, but we talked for a while because that was all we could do. And then she felt comfortable like coming here, but she had to like stay here because we couldn't, there was nothing else we could do. It was an experience. It was an experience. That's all I could say about that. That didn't go well. It was fine when she was here, but it really didn't go well. It was not good. Don't recommend doing that. Don't make your first experience meeting someone them having to stay in your home. That's for sure.
This is like one of the few times that I'm speechless, because that was some tea I never expected. Like, I'm sorry, there's so much wrong. She's immunocompromised. It's COVID. She's traveling. She's staying at your house.
She drove and stayed here, and I all the reason she felt comfortable was like, I literally only go to Devon's and I go home, and like I have my groceries delivered at that time. Like I was not going out either, and so that's why she felt comfortable, coming here. And she drove here and drove straight here, so like that's why it happened. But oh my god, it was.
Do you do anything outside of stream now? Like, do you go out and do anything? Like, I feel like your life is stream. You were doing house renos, your family issues.
Yeah. No, I don't really do much, to be honest. Not right now. I'm just wholly focused on my life and what I got to do for my life and work, and I don't really do much, to be honest. Not right now. Maybe someday, but not right now.
Now I'm curious, for all the viewers in chat, what website did you use for online dating?
Well, I've used a bunch of them. I've used Hinge. I've used Tinder, but not much. I've used Bumble. I've used Coffee Meets Bagel. That might be all of them, I think.
Okay. So they can find you that way, which is going to be great. So was there one that you had more success with?
No, I've not had much success with any of them.
Why do you think that is?
Me. I'm the problem.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. You got where I was going with it.
I am 100% the problem. I put up a lot of walls, and I'm like half-ass being interested, and I know that. And I've gone on and off of them as I've just been, and I know I'm a big part of my problem. I'm well aware of that. It's not that I can't. I could if I put in any kind of effort, but I don't. And so that's where I'm at.
Why don't you?
That's a good question. It's like, well, especially in these last few years, like I've been in a weird part of my life where I'm trying to build my future, but like it's a weird spot that I'm in where I don't have a lot other than what I'm building, and that's hard to meet someone, especially like in my 30s, where I feel like people are establishing their careers, and I am establishing my career. I am very fulfilled in every way but money, if I'm being honest. And that becomes difficult to navigate as a guy, especially if like talking like it's kind of, we're talking societal norms, but they do kind of exist. And like, I don't feel, there was times where I felt like I don't have the money to take someone out on a date. Legitimately, like I got to pay my bills and that's the only money I have. And that leads to a lack of confidence as as well. That's a part of it. The other part of it is like, I've just not felt like it was the right time. And so I really wasn't taking it super seriously because of what I was doing and what I was trying to build. Like, I feel like I am getting to that point where it is the right time, and is a better time than what it was a few years ago when I was really in the middle of building to where we're getting now. But yeah, that's the gist of it, I would say.
Fair enough. I just feel so, I want to say bad for you because I feel like you'd make an amazing boyfriend, husband. This is not me shooting my shot. But
I think shooting a shot, chat. Live on the internet. I've never had this happen before.
I just want to see you succeed and be happy. And I feel like a relationship would do you a lot of justice. It would suck because then I would not get to troll you with all my amazing messages and trolls and messages and memes and messages.
Wait, why would that suck?
Because
why wouldn't you be able to?
What if you get a girlfriend that doesn't like when I send you the anime girls with huge bazongas?
Listen, if I have a girlfriend that gets jealous in any way of random ass things on the internet, it's not gonna work because I deal with a lot of that every single day. Like, that's part of what I do for a living. It's not gonna work. It won't work. But I'm very happy. Part of the reason that I'm the problem is I'm so happy where I am now. I'm so fulfilled with what I'm doing in my life, and quite frankly, I'm selfish with my time, and that you are required as part of a successful relationship to sacrifice your time, and I struggle with that because if it's not exactly perfect, and then I just want out because I want my time back to myself, like literally.
Yeah.
Like, I have, as soon as I start to see that this is not forever, I don't care to waste my time anymore.
Yeah.
And I've just been like, just like that, just ended it. It's not
I'm
that
not
things
gonna
were
lie.
bad. It's not that I hated the person.
Yeah.
But it's just like, that's just not, if it's not forever, because I'm only interested in long term,
yeah,
then I'm out. I check out very quickly. And that's not my best quality.
Well, as a content creator, you don't have time to waste for this sort of stuff. Like, if you're not going to improve my life and you're becoming a chore, it's not going to work. I will spend my time doing something better. I'm sorry. I could be making content. I could be thinking about future content. It becomes one of those things where there's a lot of people that are chores. A lot of significant others become chores.
Yeah. Well, and I know this too. Like, part of building a successful relationship is putting that time in. Like, you do need to do that, and sacrifices need to be made on both sides for that to be successful. That's a fact. And like, I am, to a fault, selfish with my time. 1000%. I am very selfish with my time. And as soon as I feel like that time I'm putting in is not worth it, I just put my back up and I'm just ready to get out. And
so what do you mean when you're selfish with your time?
Like, I don't want to be wasting my time doing anything that I don't want to do.
Like, if I asked you to come over see my parents, right? Because we're now dating and that's what you do. You go and see the parents. You would see that as a waste of time? And you'd be like, I don't want to do that?
It's not if things were going well in that relationship and I felt like we were at that stage that made sense. No. But if I feel like the relationship is fine, but like not going to provide for me long term, well then, like, I don't want to do XYZ. I don't want to have my Fridays and Saturdays tied up with this because I don't see this through beyond, the next few months. Like, I'm just selfish with my time. I don't know how else to put it.
Okay. So let me ask you for chat, if anyone's interested, what kind of person are you looking for?
Are you asking me or chat?
Yeah, naturally. Why would I ask chat? Chat's not here. I'm asking you.
Chat. I thought you
Yeah, I'm
said
asking
chat
for chat. What if somebody in chat might be your dream person, right?
I have no clue, dude. If I knew that, I wouldn't be single for so long as I have been. I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't.
Are you sure?
Well, there's certain things that have to exist. Like, they have to have their own hobbies that allow me to just have my space. A unicorn, as Devin said. Yeah, that's probably more like it.
You shouldn't say that you want to date a unicorn on the internet. That's not that.
No,
that'll
I didn't
go
say
wrong.
I want to date a unicorn, like a unicorn as in it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
all
what
right.
she's saying, like a mythical creature that doesn't exist. That's
So now it's changing to a mythical creature.
That's why she's saying it. That's it's a metaphor, Zan. Do you not know what metaphors are?
What if unicorns do exist, like chat's saying?
Okay. Can you show me one in the wild?
I will glue a horn to a horse just for this bit. I will literally go to a barn, a farm, wherever they keep horses, and I will glue a horn on a horse.
I don't believe that you'll do it. I don't believe that you will.
If I do, will you compliment me and call me like 100% dedicated to bits?
Yes, of course. That's an easy compliment to give you on that, but I don't believe you're going to do that.
I'm going to find a horse farm. Oh, we race horses. What if I pay somebody to race a horse with a horn glued on their head? The comedy writes itself.
Yeah. Good luck.
Okay. Well, we've covered your gaming, your streaming, your dating. What else is there to the man, the myth, the Derek?
I have I have 3 dogs, but I kind of inherited a dog that's not really my dog, but like, I guess she's my dog now. And my mom's dog. So I have 4 dogs. And I love animals. They're laying over there. They're finally calm. Hold on, maybe I'm not even gonna try to show you because then they're gonna get up and be rowdy. But I love basketball. I used to play once.
We're not going to cover why you have 4 dogs.
What do you mean? Why? I love dogs.
How did these dogs arrive in your life? Why did you pick them?
I've adopted them. They're all rescues. Well, I didn't adopt the one. Mom did, but they're all rescues.
Did you inherit the 4th one then?
Yeah, sort of. I guess Devin and I both did, but she's at my house now. She gets along really well with one of my dogs. They get along really well. So I guess she's more mine than Devin's. We haven't really discussed the exact ownership of her, but like, I guess for now she's 50-50.
This now makes me concerned because like I have 3 birds and I don't want to give one person 3 birds when I die. So I'm going to have to like split them up or something.
Well, how long are your birds going to live?
They live up to 20 years. What if I die tomorrow? Like, have you never thought about what you're going to do with your 4 dogs if you were to die on Saturday, April, 16th?
I mean, Devin would take them. Devin would have 7 dogs or 6 dogs. Everything of mine goes to Ray.
Oh, okay. Well, that's super easy then.
Yeah.
That's super
in my
easy.
will and everything. I have a will. It all goes to Ray.
How did you get a will? Why do you have a will in your 30s?
Well, it is important, and it's become more apparent how important it is because we're managing all of that stuff, as we said earlier. So in the process of managing all of that, I did get a written will.
Huh? Should I have a will?
I think it's good. I think it's a good idea. I genuinely believe that everyone should. And I didn't believe that until I was thrust into this situation that was completely unforeseen, and had to manage all of it as it is. And so I did. And, me, Devin, Jim, her husband, all did. In the process of managing moms and managing our dads, we all made sure we got our wills.
Okay, so you stream, you love dogs, you love basketball, you have a will, which is apparently, according to chat, really attractive. Don't know why, but chat loves that you have a will.
It's good.
What else is there to you?
Because it's a good idea, because if you're living, you have control over it. And you don't have control over anything if you don't have that in place and you pass. So, yeah.
Okay.
What else? I said basketball. I think Indy asked what team. I'm a 76ers fan, unfortunately, because they're just disappointing year after year after year. Good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to do anything, and that's just like the shittiest, because you never get any better, but you also don't get worse. Let's see. What else? Obviously, I play video games. You talked about that.
Yeah.
Shitty ones, according to you.
Yeah, they're terrible. Nobody plays Tarkov. I'm sorry, and nobody plays Dark and Darker. Whatever games else you play, Brotato's like the only good one.
Brotato? Yeah, I know you like Brotato.
Of course I do.
Devin and I are on the we are literally on the speedrun leaderboards of Bread and Fred. That's a little fun fact. We are legitimately ranked on the leaderboards of speedrunning Bread and Fred.
I've never beaten that game yet.
Yeah, I know. Most people I know haven't beaten it, and we have speedrun it. So that's pretty cool.
What other games do you play?
I was big on Destiny for a long time, which is actually why I don't play Marathon, because I got so tired of Bungie's bullshit that I thought I was going to pick up Marathon, and then they had all that bullshit where they stole art, and I was like, well, I already was kind of out on Bungie, and then they stole art from an artist, and so I was like, all right, I'm definitely still out on Bungie, so I don't. I kind of just got tired of Bungie and their nonsense. So I don't play Marathon. I love the Assassin's Creed series. That's one of my favorite all-time series.
Still?
Well, depends on what you like. Since it went through a rough patch, and then it was really good after Origins. Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla were like really fucking good. Honestly, it kind of felt like the series was reborn again and moving in a really positive direction. And then I'm not sure where we're at now. I'm going to be honest. I'm waiting to see if they fix what I think they broke, but I don't think that they did. I think they broke the story that they were developing was really good, and then I think they might have fucked it. But I haven't finished Shadows yet. But that should tell you how much.
Raid, by the way, for Assassin's Creed, that was actually the last game I rage quit. I was playing Black Flag.
Oh, Black Flag! Black Flag was a good one.
No, I was stuck. I rage quit because there was a moment in the game where you have to be super sneaky and go from bush to bush while watching patrols and stuff. And there was one specific bush, literally right next to the path, and it was glitched. No matter how I sat in that bush, they would always see through the bush at me. And the problem was that on the path, you literally have to take that bush. It is the only bush you can reach in time for them to turn around and not see you. And every time, I spent damn near 15 minutes hiding in this bush and getting caught. And it's not like, oh, we'll put you back 5 minutes and you can play the section again. No, you have to start from the beginning every time. And then the bush would just fail me. And I was like, fuck this game. Fuck this piece of shit, glitchy ass game. I'm done. And it was a main point of the story. I couldn't progress because of the bush. Fuck those people and their goddamn glitchy games.
Valid rant. I will give you that one. That's a valid rant. There are moments in Assassin's Creed that are like that. I used to like 100% games, and I don't anymore because of Assassin's Creed and because of exact rants that you literally just went on. Like you cannot jump across this certain parts that you're supposed to without this. Oh, I'm just gonna jump diagonally left instead of straight like you said you wanted to, and fuck you and be seen. And then when you're supposed to do it when like incognito and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty valid.
I feel like stealth games bring out the rage quit so much because like you almost have to like perfect stealth games, and if you have a game breaking glitch like that, it just ruins it. It just ruins it.
You're not wrong. I can't argue your points. For once, I will tell you are wholly correct.
You've been agreeing with me a lot tonight. I don't think we've disagreed.
Things.
What have we disagreed on tonight?
You're right. We got to find something to disagree on, I think. No, I normally disagree with you a lot more. This is weird.
I don't understand why you disagree with me at all in the first place, because I'm usually right, except now that I have a girlfriend, I found that she might be righter than me. Don't tell her. She'll get a big head.
Oh, wow. I need to find this person and tell her.
No.
This is a big deal. Do we know who this person is, chat?
What if I told you that they've never watched my stream because I don't want to mix life and stream? You know, it's like I don't involve my family with my stream.
Oh, so then you understand why I don't want to date on Twitch, but you said you should date another streamer.
I'm just saying it makes sense because they understand your hobby. I live in a place where streaming is not really heard of, and so nobody understands the hobby at all. And they all come in thinking like I'm some big YouTuber or something when it's not even close to the case.
Yeah, but you still are advocating for dating a streamer, but you don't even want your girlfriend to watch your stream.
Yeah. Well,
that doesn't make any sense, Sam. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Why would I want them to watch my stream? I'd want them to understand it, but why would I want them to watch it?
You just said you don't want them, and so you don't want them involved at all.
Okay, let me be more precise at the beginning, because there's stream Zam and there's real Zam, and they're very close. But the things I say on the internet, I don't want some of my family to know.
But we're not talking about your family. We're talking about your girlfriend.
Even my girlfriend. Like, for example, a quote in chat came up where I said, I don't date geniuses. They make me feel stupid. I don't want my girlfriend to know that.
Dude, if she's into you, she'll think that's funny.
So
otherwise, you're going to say something to her in person and offend her anyway. Wait, this is ridiculous. We found something to disagree on. You're completely contradicting the advice you gave me earlier.
I might not be a smart man, and you might be right here because I probably have said so many stupid things to her.
Exactly.
Yikes. Okay.
Listen, I got him tripping on his own fucking thoughts, chat. We got him. We fucking got him. He doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Again, actually, this is the second time. This is the second time in this stream that Zam hasn't known what to say, and we all know that that's rare.
Yeah, what can I say, Dare? You take my words away.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's me. That's me, chat.
So let me ask you a better question then. Let's say I have this girlfriend and I want to introduce her to streaming and everything about the streaming world, and she's never heard of it. How would you suggest I do that?
Well, does she know you stream and you just don't let her know that you do this? Like,
yeah.
So she knows you stream, you just don't tell her your channel so she can find it. So she'll
be moving in and she'll hear me in my room yelling at people on the internet.
Yeah. So, but she knows that you do this. She just doesn't know where or how or whatever. Okay.
Yes.
So then why? That's not complicated. You just give her the link and say, like, if you want to watch me do my thing, you just do it.
But then she's going to feel obligated to come in.
Well, no, you don't even. She doesn't have to make an account.
And what if she joins in and sees how chat bullies me and she becomes part of chat and bullies me?
That would be the best case scenario. Now she understands everything and wants in on it. That's like the best case scenario. What do you mean?
Do you not think that'll change the relationship, that she'll be in on it?
It'd be even better if she did it anonymously and you didn't even know it was her. That would be so fucking funny, dude.
So I was trying to date a girl
and just started bullying you like the rest of chat.
I was trying to date a girl from Mexico, long distance. And I specifically told her, like I tell everyone, I'm not comfortable with you watching the stream and I'll wait till whatever. And So she jumped into my stream pretty much immediately after saying that. She fucking like reverse searched me, found my stream, and I was talking about her because I was doing my whole date night tea with Zam where I cover the horrible online dating stories I go through. And she was there for the story, and I only knew she was because she defended herself and said what she had said in chat, and that was to me a breach of trust. I did not like that. I did not want them in my stream. It was really fucking weird, and that's where the relationship ended.
That's hilarious. That's such a good story, though. But honestly, like that probably wasn't going to work out with this person. So that was for the better. Better to just like have that happen. But like this is something you're passionate about. This is something you do a lot. If you're going to be into someone, they're gonna need to know that you're doing it. And the sooner you, there's a line, like maybe not right away. I don't know how long you've been dating them, but they need to know you're doing this.
And you like, think that I should like bring them into the stream sooner than later?
I think so. Personally, but like I also have like no shame, and I know that about me. Like, I mean, I have no shame. I don't get embarrassed. There's nothing I could do that would make me embarrassed for anyone to see what I do. Even though a lot of it is completely unhinged and ridiculous. So maybe I'm a specific case, but like this, if the relationship's going to get serious, you're going to be spending more time around this person. Like, who knows, eventually maybe live with them. What, you're just going to shut the door and lock them out? And after years of dating them, like, then you might think about letting them into your stream?
Yeah.
That sounds,
I'm building a basement studio.
And just like for years, you're just going to lock them out of your room while you stream?
Yeah.
You're loud as fuck. She's going to hear everything anyway.
I'm getting insulation. She won't hear shit. She won't hear me yell.
You are way too loud to keep out for insulation.
I'm going to triple insulate it. It's going to be so thick. Nobody will be able to hear me murder anyone down there. It'll be great. It'll be amazing. Nothing will be heard.
Can we make a poll? Can we make a poll?
What do we need to make a poll for?
I want to make a poll. I want to suggest a poll to say, if Zan builds this studio, yes or no, will girlfriend hear what he's saying despite insulation? I want to know. I want to know what chat thinks. I have no doubts in my mind that this poll is significantly in favor of she will hear what you're saying. 100%. I don't even know if anyone will vote the other way.
Why are you like this?
Why am I like this? Because this is perfect.
All right, there's a poll in chat. Do your voting. But Dare, while people are, I feel like you're literally leaned over and voting right now, aren't you?
I'm not voting. I have not voted, but I am voting.
Okay.
I'm disappointed to say that 2 people have already voted no, and they're liars. But that's fine. We don't need to talk
liars.
about that.
So let me ask you a different, interesting question along the same lines here. Let's say I invite her to watch the stream, and she makes an account, and she becomes like a fan of mine. How do I introduce her to chat? Do I? Because I feel like that changes the chat dynamic. Well,
I've never been through this, so I don't anything I tell you I've never done before. But I think it'll just feel right when the time is right, and you'll just do it. And you probably won't even be planning it before that stream. You'll just feel like that the time is right then, and you'll just do it. But again, I've not been through it, so I don't know that I have an answer for that.
So you wouldn't do like some big Dare's girlfriend stream reveal?
No, absolutely not. Now I would just introduce her. I probably wouldn't even tell them ahead of time that I was. I'd just be like, oh, hey, by the way, she's here, guys.
I like how some people in chat are chiming in that I'm not Zam's girlfriend. like as if if she was in chat right now and would say, oh, I'm not Zam's girlfriend either. Like, come on. Also, IndieFit is not my girlfriend. So not only
in case anyone was wondering.
Not only would you introduce her to the stream, you would also be like, oh, by the way, I slipped and IndieFit is my girlfriend live on air.
Yeah. Like, especially because of how, like, I mean, our content, like, literally is our lives. Like, every bit of it, good, bad, and everything in between, is that. And we talk about our lives every day on stream. Like, I feel like I was hiding something and not being genuine, especially if I was in a relationship and it was going well. That's something exciting and something I would want to tell chat about, because that's something good that's going on in my life. So I would want to talk about it, and it would probably come up just because I'm excited about how things are going. And from there, it would just naturally progress into whenever I felt like the time was right to introduce her. And that would depend on her too. Like, you don't know that your girlfriend, like, doesn't want to be seen on camera ever.
What if she's shy of camera and doesn't want to be on the stream ever?
What?
She's mentioned that, like, why she doesn't want to be on the stream.
Okay, that's fine.
How would you convince her to be on the stream? How do you make her? No, you wouldn't make her change her mind.
No, but I do think if it was serious and I was with this person for a long time, that eventually she would warm up to it. I think so. But I would not force them. We don't force, like, Jim, Devin's husband, to be on stream. He comes on once in a while, and he used to be on a lot more, but he's also dyslexic, so he has a hard time with chat. So we don't ever force that upon him, because he can get really uncomfortable when he's there, and he'll talk with us, but he won't really try to read chat too much, because when it's moving like that, it's really hard for him. So, like, no, I don't put that pressure on anyone, and I wouldn't. But I would be open and honest about it, and not just close her off from it. Let the option be in her court if she wants to be involved, because she's an important part of your life. The longer you date her. So,
what if I got her into streaming, right? So that she could see from scratch how streaming works.
No. Because I think streaming's for most people, let alone people who didn't know what it was before. Like,
I could start her off as a VTuber, and then she wouldn't have to be on camera, and then, like, people could go experience her.
Chat, we are getting so far into Sam's terrible fucking points and ideas. We've hit the point. He has started to come out with everything just being bad.
How is that a bad idea?
Streaming's not for most people who are on Twitch all the time, let alone someone who doesn't even know what it is.
Anybody can stream on Twitch.
Anybody can stream on Twitch, but I don't think it's for most people. I say this to people
you and I
all the time.
agree all the time.
People 100%. Are like you do art, you're so good at it, you should stream it. But, like, I don't believe that. I don't think streaming is for most people. The large majority, I don't think it's for them. I don't think it's not their thing. But a lot of people will, like, push people, like, you should do this because you're a really good artist, or you're really good at the game, or this or that, and then they feel like they should, and they don't like it. And that's people who are around it and know what it is, let alone someone who doesn't know what it is at all. It's a terrible idea. How are you going to flip the switch and go from, I don't want her involved at all on Twitch ever, I'm going to triple blockade my door when I'm streaming so she can't hear anything, but now I'm going to force her to fucking stream?
I'm just trying to come to what you would do in this situation, aside from just, hey guys, everybody look, Indy Fit's my girlfriend. Please don't treat them weird.
Just, like, it would just happen naturally. I genuinely believe it would just happen naturally when it feels right. Isn't that how a lot of things in stream go? It's just like you just kind of go with the flow.
This isn't like having sex, Derek.
I mean, no, streaming is a lot different than having sex, but you do go with the flow. What do you mean? Like, I mean, you plan some things for this podcast. I understand that, but I don't plan a single thing I'm doing on any stream ever. Just let it roll.
So, how did Jim get introduced to the stream?
He just came down and said hello one time when we were doing it.
So you would expect her to open my triple bar door, come in and say hello?
Well, no, I don't think if you triple bar your door and lock her out that she's making it in the door. I don't think that at all.
What if I only single lock it?
I mean, I don't know how strong she is, but I mean, depends on the door, I guess. If she really wants to break down the door to come say hello on your stream. That would be intense. That would be crazy. You'd probably shit yourself.
Of course, I'd also feel weird because then it would be like every time I'm streaming, I'm expecting my door to be bashed in.
Dude,
like Kramer and Seinfeld.
You know, I hope that's how it goes down, but I think that's pretty unlikely.
I see. Okay. So that's interesting. And obviously you've gone the complete opposite way where you've been involving your family. Like I know that Moco Mom was on several times. Like Jim, even Ray's on like all the time. And you have no problem with having your whole family broadcasted on the internet?
No. Is all of it ideal? No. And obviously the situation with Ray is more for Devin to speak on than me. Like I'm not her father. I just go with the flow with whatever Devin feels comfortable with. And that's my place in that part of the conversation. But like we did believe when we started streaming that like Mom wasn't going to be on stream, you know, or that Ray wasn't going to be on stream. The reality for Ray was just like, if Devin was going to be a full-time mom and a full-time parent and be present fully in both, it was just not going to be possible. And it just kind of happened. And it's never like we're purposely putting her on camera. She just kind of comes down and is around. And if she wants to be on our laps, that's because she chose to be. Or we're not trying to force that, but that's that. And then with Mom, Mom just fucking loved it, if I'm being honest. And like who am I? And I'm eternally grateful now that we did, because now we have some really great memories recorded that like, you know, everyone knows I'm very detached from my phone. I don't walk around taking pictures and like the way I find balance in my life, even though I'm wholly connected on the internet and I'm a streamer, is like this thing is detached from me. If I walk away from it, I just forget it. And that's intentional. Like that's how I find my balance. So like to have those memories recorded forever, and some really, really great memories recorded at that, you know, I'm eternally grateful that we made that decision. And we did. The one time we were like, fine, we'll let you on for your birthday. And then, I mean, she just enjoyed it so much. Like she always said chat like made her feel famous. And she fucking loved it. And then we're like, all right, Mom, we came up with a solution. We're going to let you on stream for St. Jude, for charity. And she's like, I'm in, put me on every stream. And all of the events that we did that like incentivized putting Mom on stream, we raised so much money. And she loved St. Jude, and she just loved that. And she aspired every year. She just couldn't wait for St. Jude to be coming again, because she knew that was her opportunity to be like a star of the show and on stream. And like, yeah, I'm grateful that we did that. I didn't think we would. That was not the plan, but it just kind of happened, and it happened naturally. It happened like, oh, she's here, she's just going to come in and say hello. And then she said something funny, and now everyone's laughing and she's having a good time. And we just kind of let that roll and went with it from there. And, you know, one thing led to another, and that's that. It was the only, for St. Jude, when she had her surgery, like literally brain surgery, the first thing she woke up and said is, I don't think I'm playing Mario Kart, because she was supposed to play Mario Kart like 3 days later for St. Jude. But that was all that was on her mind, and that kept her going, and that motivated her, because all she wanted to do was get out of surgery, out of what she was in, so she could come on stream and go raise money for St. Jude. And so like, yeah, you know what, it was not the plan, but I'm grateful for sure.
Well, she's a wonderful person, by the way. Honestly, the impact she's made on your life's very evident. In fact, she's still inspiring people today. Like your story right there makes me want to think that for my girlfriend's birthday, I should make her come on stream. She also, my girlfriend, loves Mario Kart, loves it. So we'll do like a Mario Kart stream, and it'll just
that
be
would
like
be a great way to make her feel comfortable with something that she's not entirely sure about and comfortable with. If you focus on the Mario Kart, the focus doesn't have to be like, I'm on camera and talking to everyone in chat. You just could vibe and play Mario Kart. And then,
by the way, I'm so much better than her at Mario Kart. I just want you guys all to know I won every game. I've never lost a game of Mario Party against my girlfriend.
I don't ever believe him, Matt Maz.
Why? I'm When have I bullshitted you? I feel like I'm a straight shooter. I've never steered you wrong, steered you wrong. I might
You're wrong
misspeak
all the time.
What do you mean?
You're backtracking like 10 times just in the last 10 minutes. You were putting up a barricade in your office. Now you're going to play Mario Kart on girlfriend's birthday. Which one is it, Zam?
I was inspired by the story of Mama Moko. What are you doing? I can't change my mind. I can't be like, oh, I'll put a gun to my girlfriend's head and make her play Mario Kart and lose all the time to make me look good.
The problem is you can't make up your mind.
No, what do you mean? My mind's always made up.
Except with bad takes on like food and shit. That you have your mind entirely made up with, and you're just wrong.
What if I just changed my mind when gooder ideas come up?
Well, that's fine. It's more about the way you change your mind.
How do you change your mind? How am I changing my mind bad?
But you were gonna barricade your office 5 minutes ago. That's not just changing your mind. That's changing your whole approach to this relationship.
I didn't want her to be a part of the stream until I realized how awesome it was to have Mama Moko be part of the stream, and then I was like, I want to have that.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think that's a better take for sure.
All right. So now the real hard-hitting question.
Okay.
If you were to give her a nickname, what would it be? The girlfriend of Zam in chat, and people were to talk about her. Like, we got Mama Moko, we got like Jim. Would you make up a nickname for her, or would you let her pick her own name?
Oh, I don't think you would just pick one off the rip. I think it would happen through chat. That's how it works.
You're telling me the chat gets to decide her name?
Not chat, but like the interaction and just how it goes. Like Jim is known as Friend Jim in our community. That's because Philza, who's a gigantic Minecraft streamer, we were locked in our basement. There was a tornado warning, like a major storm. We couldn't leave the house. We were locked in the basement. We still streamed. We were like, well, I guess we'll just stream until we lose power because we're in the only place that we're safe anyway. And Jim was like laying in a mattress on a mattress with the dogs, like trying to keep them calm in the back of the stream. And we got a raid from our friend Gun Girl, who was raided by Philza, who's like one of the biggest Minecraft streamers on Twitch. And Philza was still in the chat from that raid. And he recapped this whole thing that happened, and he had the most hilarious recap of us because, first impression of us is pretty ridiculous, especially when we're in a basement, like hiding from a tornado. And he was recapping everything. We showed a dino dick on stream, which he thought was hilarious. He was recapping all this, and he goes, yeah, and they just had their like friend chilling on the mattress in the back. Meanwhile, it's literally Devin's husband. And so he became known as Friend Jim, and now he's Friend Jim. So see, it just happened because of something that happened on stream.
So if I assume Jim doesn't have an account on Twitch, how would you recommend Jim come up with a name for Twitch?
No, he does. He has a name on Twitch.
Is it just Friend Jim?
It's Friend Jim. It's Friend Jim.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, he's Friend Jim. Why? What do you mean? Why not?
He could have been like Jim7123_A.
Well, he was something like that before, and then the nickname came around, and he changed his name to Friend Jim.
How would you recommend anybody come up with a nickname for being online?
Well, I think it happens by interacting online.
Really?
Like, yeah. Any nickname I've ever had on the internet has happened after interacting on the internet. Like, I started off with like the stupid ass like basketball 3 or 2391 or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. I was stealth sniper.
It was worse. Wait, it was worse. It was B-ball rules with 2 Z's. 3. That was I think my first.
As was the thing at the time. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, or maybe it was like Sixers 2391, which is like my birthday. It might have been Sixers 2391, and then I also had a B-ball rules with 2 Z's and a 3. Those are like my first 2 accounts I had on the internet. And then any account I've had since then has become a nickname either from people IRL or interaction on the internet. And that's how my names came to be.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what the first name is. It's then after that how they interact.
Yeah. They make a more generic name, something they probably have like an account for somewhere else. And then like, you know, if they're getting involved and they're having a good time and then they become more integrated in the community, they'll likely change it to something that's more fitting for Twitch once they understand what Twitch is. Like Devin's I think it was her mother-in-law or maybe it was her sister-in-law, I can't remember, just like made her Twitch name her full name. And we were like, because they just don't know with the platform. And we only knew this because she followed the channel while we were offline. I'm like, Devin, you need to call Sam like immediately. She cannot chat in our channel with her name. She's like, what did you do? It's like, it's literally like her full name, Devin. She's like, oh god,
with her SIN number behind it.
Dude, it was so funny. Like they didn't know. They thought they were just like entering their information, not realizing that was their username they were going to be seen on. And yeah, so, you know, obviously not something like that, but.
That makes me want to ask, like, how are you guys going to handle Ray with a new account? How are you going to coach her for a new username?
You know, that's fortunately not for a long time.
She's right, because you have to be at least 13, and that's like 11 years away.
You know.
Okay. You have 11 years to come up with a great name for her and become the best uncle.
Well, I already am the best uncle.
By default, but this is actually like she'll go to school and brag about my Uncle Derek calls me the young star or something.
I mean, I'm also the worst uncle, so that is
you can literally make or break that with a name.
I can, but we got time, fortunately.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it's been 3 hours. I only promised you 2 hours. Was there any other topics you want?
No, I didn't know if you promised the time. I didn't care because I can yap with the best of them.
You literally can. But that was all the topics I had anyways. Was there anything you wanted to talk about?
Well, no, I just want to circle back to like if anyone, we are active with our big event right now. So if anyone wants to see like what's going on and support art and small business ownership, you should come check out the event and come enter some giveaways and shop the websites. And also, like, if you want to help us raise $100,000 for St. Jude in July, you should come get involved and sign up to fundraise with us. Doesn't matter if you've never fundraised before. It doesn't matter if you're even a streamer. We had some people who aren't streamers sign up to fundraise with us and raise over $1,000. Like literally every bit counts, and $100,000 is a boatload of money. And I love for you guys to get involved and fundraise with us. So we can keep making a big difference and take more people with us to the St. Jude Summit every year. That's our goal. I want 5 MoCo members, team members that fundraise with us to come with us to St. Jude Summit next year. This year we had 1 that came from our team.
What does it take to get to the summit?
Well, you have to basically raise a certain amount.
Which is
what that amount is, I don't really know. It's definitely over $1,000, but they take people who raise as much as we do and people who raise under $500. They really do take a mix. But the bigger our event becomes and the more we raise, the more willing they'll be willing to take people who fundraise, from $100 to $1,000 from our campaign, because they're realizing the impact we have. And by bringing them to the summit, that'll give them some more tools to raise even more money. And that's really our goal, that our event becomes as big as it can, so that St. Jude takes more interest in that and wants to bring more of our people out.
Fair enough. Much well said. Obviously, I give you a shout out, guys. I hope you click that follow button. You guys probably already know MoCo Made's known all over the, I want to say, globe. I feel like they're a household name on Twitch these days, but you had no topics, nothing you wanted to ask me while we're live on air. I mean, we talk quite often, though I haven't been to a workshop Saturday in a while because the girlfriend needs my time.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, time. It takes time. That's what I was saying earlier. I told you.
I should bring her to a workshop Saturday. Maybe that'll be better than bringing her to Twitch.
I mean, you can if you want. If that's how you want to go about it, Zam, you do you, boo-boo.
If you guys don't know, by the way, Workshop Saturday is where they hang out off stream, off camera with their community as they craft and do a bunch of stuff, look at all their clips. Is that this Saturday?
No. Every other Saturday will be next Saturday, not this Saturday.
Shame
that we do that.
I honestly think it's one of the best things that they do because it not only breaks that parasocial boundary we were talking about, but it's huge for building community and scheduling and all that. It's an amazing thing. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. We used to, and this wasn't on purpose, but like we used to, for a while, we were doing like community games on Friday nights, and Among Us was one of them for a while, and there were a couple of others. And then that kind of fizzled out. And Minecraft became our community game, and we just kind of played that whenever, and it was very, like, everybody could play Minecraft. But then, like, we randomly hosted a workshop because people were asking us a lot of the same questions about releasing product, and so we hosted this workshop, and, like, a lot of people showed up. They were like, that's awesome. And then every other Saturday since then, we've had a workshop. We're like, well, why don't we just get together and hang out every Saturday, and people can ask questions. We can get our shit done. And it's not just art that people are getting done. Some people are playing games. I do a lot of my house chores on Saturdays. There's a lot of times I'm mowing the lawn. It's been that thing that we can come together as a community and hang out that's not centered around a game that not everybody's going to play. That literally anybody that's a member of the community can hop in and just hang out and get to know each other better. And so we've been doing that like 3 years now, I think. It's been a long time.
Fair enough. Is there any last words you want to share?
I got a question for you. Wait,
okay,
I actually got
go
a really
ahead.
good
What is
question.
your question? Ask me your question,
Okay.
Bridgekeeper. I'm not afraid.
My question is, did you purposely not invite Devin?
No, so here's the plan. I forgot that I even asked you for this week. I remembered when I was trying to plan somebody else for this week, and I was like, oh, shit. I forgot.
About me?
I forgot about Dare. What I was thinking, and literally during this podcast, I had a lightning bolt idea. I was like, what if I do Dare this week? And I whispered Devin and say, hey, I had Dare on last Thursday. It was amazing. Do you want to be back to back? We have the MoCo Part 1, MoCo Part 2. And then, you know what else I was thinking? Big brain time. What if we do both of you guys in 2 weeks, right? I get you separately. I get Dev separately. And then, boom, Voltron this bitch. I don't know if you guys have time, but that was my big brain moment.
This fucker just said he forgot about me, chat.
What? That's the only thing you remember of the?
You said you forgot. What else am I supposed to remember? I didn't say you went to shit on Devin because that would have been hilarious, and instead you shit on me.
I just like Dev better. I won't forget about her.
You know, you and everyone else just listen, I can't escape it. Everyone likes Devin better. I just exist. Fucking unbelievable, chat. Can you imagine? Can you believe that this is how he's ending the night? I forgot about Derek, but I won't forget about Devin, and maybe we'll have her next week. Wow. That's crazy. That's actually the craziest thing. I didn't expect that from Zam. That's actually crazy.
You know what's crazier is you like shaming me for giving you the honest truth. Like,
well, it was honest. It was also shit.
All right,
can be honest and shit.
Next time I'll lie directly to your face and be like, "Oh yeah, I picked you because you're my the best friend of the MoCos."
Forgot about me. Wow.
I love you,
but not as much as Devin.
Well, yeah, because she's clearly smarter, skillfuler, better. Like she's clearly the best MoCo.
No, that's not true. Raylan is the best MoCo.
Yeah, but I'm not going to bring Raylan onto the podcast. That might be interesting, though.
You're not. You're not going to bring her onto the podcast, though she's taken a very particular liking to the reverb mic lately, and she's just been walking around the studio going, milk, and then when the K, like, repeats, she goes, hee hee hee, and then just does it over and over and over again, walking around the studio. Milk, milk, just over every day for 3 days straight. She's done this. It's pretty great.
What? All right. I mean, sure, kids are adorable. I'll give you that. What do you think the odds are that Dev will say yes to being on the podcast? I'm just very curious because I know you were down. You're always down for everything.
Yeah. Well, I don't think she's opposed to it. I think for her, it might be a question of time because, she is a mom and she's also like might be buying a house, which is crazy. Yeah. Like this all developed really quickly because of the situation with us now caring for dad and everything like that. And so she might be buying a house and things are a little crazy right now. So I don't think she wouldn't be down. I think it would be a matter of time, legitimately, which is actually why I thought you only asked me and not her, because you've assumed that her being a mom and late night was about time. But I found out that you just don't even care about me. I'm just filler. That's what I found out, chat. That's how I'm gonna, go to bed tonight. Yep.
Filler, I hardly know her. That's the only exit I had out of that. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, oh yeah, Dara, I hope you go to bed and think about me all night. Like, am I supposed to like apologize? Sorry, Dara, I gave you the honest truth. Next time I'll invite you on and you won't be filler.
Oh shit. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Hilarious.
I love you, dude.
I'll just donate $5 to St. Jude. You'll be like, Sam's not a bad guy after all.
Yeah, maybe I'll forget about it. It might take more than $5 to forget about it, though.
$10? Like, what are we talking here?
I don't know. I got to think about it. I'm not on St. Jude yet. I have to think about that after we're done the other event. But, I think it'll be more than $5 to forget about it. Yeah, for sure.
What if I joined the fundraising and raised my own money for St. Jude?
Well, that you should do 100%. You did 2 years ago, right?
I did, and I forgot about last year because you never asked me and I didn't know what was going on.
Well, I mean, you're in our Discord and you're on our stream team.
I've muted your Discord.
Okay, but like, if you want to check out what's happening in your stream team's community, you kind of need to check in there. You can unmute the team channel. I also post in there.
To be fair, I muted the team channel because I had drama with the teammate, so I was not reading it, and I've never unmuted it. And also, you guys need to stream outside of my work hours.
We need to what?
You need to stream outside my work hours.
Well, we will be for St. Jude. We stream like crazy hours for St. Jude.
Good. Then I can watch.
Yeah, be able to watch. We're streaming 14 days in a row for St. Jude through the weekend and everything. It's gonna be insane. Devin's also gonna be like 7 months pregnant.
I'm so glad you're not reading chat right now. Or Dare and all of his Discord.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I actually can't blame anyone for muting the Discord, but I can blame someone for not checking in periodically for the announcements in their stream team leaders community.
To be fair, why don't you just message me?
Zam, I can't individually message everybody.
No, just me. I'm special.
Why the fuck would I message you? You literally said to my face that I'm not special. What? What is this bullshit? You can't say that to me after what you just said.
Yeah, I got nothing. This is true. This is real. I agree with you. Yeah, dude, I kind of fucked.
I have stopped Zam cold in his tracks several times tonight. I have succeeded. He's also dug a fucking hole. He has dug a massive hole. This is crazy.
This is part of the night.
This hole's getting.
Where I say thank you for being here. It was a pleasure, but like right now I don't know if it was a pleasure. Oh, yikes.
Yeah, that is big yikes, honestly. Yeah,
well,
it is.
We'll walk away from this podcast with something to think about, that's for sure. And if I'm not part of the team next week, chat, you might know why. You might know
Yeah,
why.
and if you want to see where it is, next to where it says his followers, if it doesn't say Moco Loco next week, you'll know exactly what happened, chat.
Oof. Oof, I'm
just
feeling
kidding.
attacked.
I'm not removing him from the stream team. That's not going to happen. But if you see it removed, he actually removed himself, and that would be crazy drama that he could start.
Could you
if he wanted
imagine?
to.
Oh, that would be so juicy.
It was like, hey guys, I got removed for those comments.
Oh my God.
That would be insane drama you could start. Just know that if it's removed, he did it, Chad. It's not me. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. It was totally me. I totally started drama for no reason.
I mean, I'm just saying that you could. I'm not saying that you should, but I'm saying that you could.
I'm not going to. I'm a stand-up gentleman. There's a reason you accepted me onto the team, and it's not because I came in partnered. I'm not a bad guy. I just play one on the internet.
That's true, but maybe that opinion is shifting. I'm not sure. Like you said, opinions can change.
Yeah, usually mine, because I come up with better ideas on the fly.
Yeah, well, maybe you should have thought twice before you called me filler.
I didn't call you Phil. Those were not the words that left my mouth.
You didn't say those words. You defined it.
I said I forgot about you.
Yeah, I was completely replaceable. I was just the filler till you found someone else.
You weren't replaceable. I've been hounding you to be on this podcast for like 7 months, and then we planned it 3 weeks ago. And you know, 3 weeks, everything can change.
Yeah, including not wanting me on the podcast anymore. So I was just your filler, but you couldn't find someone better to replace me, so here I am.
It's really hard to find someone better than you.
You tried.
Yeah, well, no, I would have asked Dare.
What?
Because she's better.
You said Dare. Oh my God! That shit. He said Dare. He said fucking Dare when he met Dev.
Guys, I gotta go. The girlfriend's calling. That
was crazy. That was crazy. Wow.
Well,
so you really just wish I was Dev. That's what it is. You just really wish it wasn't me. You know?
Yeah.
I get it. I guess. This is the life I have to live.
Derek, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Mellyberry, thank you for those gift subs. You guys could go check out there. He's doing the BPPE. I always want to say different letters. He's a wonderful dude. Clearly, you guys got to enjoy some entertainment here. And if you're a crafter, a creator, hell, a gamer, think about joining Moco Loco. It's a fantastic team. I already got Lord Gloom on the team. I recommend you guys go check them out. They're honestly one of the best teams on Twitch is Twitch. Anyways, go check them out there. Thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate you giving me your time. And finally, I didn't forget about you. You've been a pleasure to have here. I love you. Any last words before I hang up on you?
Thank you for having me, dude. It was fun. I had a great time. I appreciate
All right, guys. Go check them out. Thank you, Dare. I'm going to hang up on you now.
Bye.